T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to the Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. Presents New Breeder on the Block series. Happens here every Monday. I'm your boy MJ. What is good, everybody? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy MJ a favor. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and then you'll definitely want to hit that notification bell. That we're on top of every single podcast, every single video, all the content put out on this channel. You will not get slept on. So do that, man. Drop a comment. Let me know you like every episode. Let me know what you're learning. Let me know if you like what I'm doing. Let me know if you don't. Let me know. Show me your feelings. Drop a comment, guys. Please, seriously, drop a comment in the comment section. Drop to the early birds. See you guys. I'll get to you guys in a second, man. It's popping right now over there. I get it. I love it. But this episode tonight is going to be brought to you by Focus Cube Habitat, #1 enclosure built in the game. #1 PVC built enclosures. Flex in Texas. All day, every day. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Ashley. Big things coming from them, as I do every year now. It's my third year working with them on projects, making my room look as legit as it is. My whole backdrop is brought to you by Focus Cube Habitat as well. I'm telling you right now, nobody is on Ashley and Steven's level, and time will continue to prove that. Head over to Instagram. Give them a follow, Focus Cube Habitats, and make sure you head over to their website. Go check out all the custom designs that they could do for you. Anything, any reptile could be put into a Focus Cube habitat, and that is a fact. Appreciate you guys' love and support. 3 years running sponsorship with these guys. I love them, their family, and appreciate you guys very much. And I mean that. I also want to say that tonight's episode is brought to you by my boy Shelby over at MORPH. Had an amazing episode with Shelby about 2 weeks ago. Or wait, it was last week? Was it last week? I think so. Justin crashed it, one of his best friends in the game, and it was a great time. Shelby is definitely somebody who, like I say to all my sponsors, just somebody I'm proud to have on my side and on my team. Other than that, his production's second to none. He's on his own level with this ball python stuff. You got to go see what this is all about. Head over to Instagram, type in Mershon's Morphs. Head over to his website too. I love his website, mershonsmorphs.net. Get ready for his availability. He's that guy who could get you on that higher tier in the ball python game if that's what you want to go for, of course. Why not, right? Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to my many sponsors. I love you guys. Love all the love and support that I get. Also, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you like to support what I do, if you want to tap in more than what you see here, if you want to get tapped in with all the trappers, listen, don't sleep on the Trap Talk Patreon family. Don't sleep on yourself. Go down to the very first link you see in the description below. Click on it and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, which will tap you in with over 160 trappers who are down for the reptiles. So many amazing things popping off in the Discord 24/7. All right, we got global trappers who tap in. So if you're just somebody who just don't like to sleep at night, tap in with the global trappers, monitors, snakes, life. All goes down to the Discord, man. Love my Patreon family. See you guys at the top, and that's a fact. Also, give me a follow on Instagram, guys, if you really want to see what I have going on with my own animals, my projects and whatnot, other than just me talking on this. Because, guys, listen, I preach this every day, all day. Animals come first in my life. I am an animal keeper slave. I'm a reptile slave before anything else other than a husband. That comes first. But I'm just saying, you guys know what I'm saying, right? So anyways, if you want to see what I got going on, head over to Instagram. Trap Talk God 619. Give me a follow. Follow the podcast's page as well. Trap Talk God Podcast. Excuse me. The Trap Talk Reptile Podcast on IG, and then on Facebook, Trap Talk Podcast. Give me a like. Give me a follow. Shoot me a comment. Let me know what's good over there on Facebook. Appreciate all the love and support. And then I just dropped an amazing vlog. I'm back on the game with the vlog, guys. Make sure you head over to the Trap Vlogs on YouTube. Go see what I said about ball pythons. Clearly, there was people who didn't even watch the goddamn video. They just like, why are you talking shit about ball pythons, man? Like, this isn't what we need. Right, bro, you just watch the video. Hello? I'm just doing my Cusco thing, man. Learn from the best. I got to hook you in with my thumbnails. Never know, though. I mean, the way I talk sometimes could have really been legit me talking shit about ball pythons or legit me throwing my ball pythons in the trash. I would never do that. I love my noodles. My little noodles. All right, what's good? Who's here? Who's ready to rock and roll? Oh, my God. The early bird chats are cracking. Let's go. Eden's Den. What is good, player? Thanks for tapping in. Trappers make some motherfucking noise for the comeback kid. Schoolboy Fresh. Motherfucking faster than life. The one and only Levi. Eden, I'm not gonna lie, that was some heavy words right there, buddy. You really got these guys' back, and I gotta say, shout to you, Eden. People need more friends like you. I'm not gonna lie, man. Shout out to the homie Eden, Trap Talk Patreon member, by the way. Row 5.0 all day, every day. Trap Talk Patreon member. What is good, player? Thanks for tapping in. The homie Jordan in the building, Heartland Reptiles, Trap Talk Patreon member. Go give him a follow because he has some really next level cool stuff. You know, listen, other than him working with awesome reptiles, he is trying to be, make his stamp in the reptile game, working with some really next level enclosures, aluminum. Is that right, Jordan? Anyways, you still need to hit me up. Reach out to me. I want to know more about that. But go give him a follow. Heartland Reptiles on IG. Trap Talk Patreon member. That's my dog. Here's one of my Sweden homies. Global Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Homie Eclipse. Thank you so much for the support, buddy. Brian from Heathen Hatcheries. My dog right here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Seriously, big time homie. Go give him a follow on Instagram. The homie Wes, Sunshine State Sulfurs. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Nick. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Morph Valley Reptiles already with the super chat. Let's go. Don't be shy with the super chats. Ship that shit. I appreciate it. Also, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Chip Indo for Shindo. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Big things coming in the near future with Chad, my bad. Called him Chad. He's Chip. He's a Pop-Tart named Chip. Anyways, my boy Chip and I we got some work. Be ready for it. It's going to be heavy. Thank you so for the support, dog. Really means a lot, Chip. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Clovers, Reptiles in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Aiden Burke, young homie in the building. What's up, player? Thanks for being here. Homegirl Amanda from AJ Wicked Balls in the building. Thank you so much for being here, homegirl. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Angel, definitely day one right here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate you, dog. It's a real one right there. JKJ Reptiles in the building. Another Trap Talk Patreon member sitting on some serious trap heat. And he's going to get more trap heat, huh, homie? Got you, dog. Don't even trip. See at the top. Eric's More Factory in the building. What's up, Eric? Thanks for being here. Big Mike, my homie right here. Original gangster Patreon member. Right? That's all I got to say. He's the OG. He's the first one to ever tap into the family. First one to support your boy. I love you, dog. Thank you so much. Let's see. Bluntman Reptiles in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Joe DeStefano in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member. Vigils, Iconic Royals. What is good? Villarino Emilio in the building. It's my dog. Thank you so much for being here. This right here is a real one. Definitely. If you want to compliment a real one with a real one, that's my homie Ray right here from Alluring Serpents, man. You're not right here. This is like, I want to say like Jordan and Pippin right now, and the up and comers and the ones who are really supporting others on a positive level. I would call these two Jordan and Pippin, and they're my boys. That's what I'm talking about. Surround yourself with good people. All right. We're going to end this in style because we got to get shit cracking, man. I get too involved with the early birds because I love you guys. It gets me excited. But we're going to end this with my boy, another local homie of mine, Brandon Wheeler from Morelia House. Thank you so much for tapping in, buddy. And we're going to get shit started because it's Monday night. You know how we get things going on this Monday night. So do what you got to do to stay hydrated. It might get hot. It might get heavy. But strap up. It's game time. My boy, Levi. What do you know? It's FTL. You know what that stands for? Faster than life. We going faster than life tonight. Episode 333 coming at you right now. Hit that like button. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we live with Levi. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's good, bro? What's up?
Thank you. Dude, I told you no banner, dog. What the fuck? Why you have the banner?
Oh, fuck, man.
Oh, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, Levi. I got to say, a lot of reasons why I'm excited to have you on. First and foremost, you just, I don't know, man. You're a real person. I got to say, you love what you do, right? And I'm not saying the 9 to 5. I'm just talking about whatever you do as far as behind the camera and with the animals. I feel like there's a fire that burns inside you. And I know that because you carry that with you and go to shows. I feel like this is a huge part of your life. Am I kind of on target with that, or?
Oh, for sure, 100%, man. It might. Let me bounce it backwards, right?
Sure.
Back to you and what you stand for. This is why I fuck with you, is because it's about the animals first.
Yeah.
The passion for the animals. I mean, going out herping is where it all started, but having them here in home and working with them, and it's a therapy, man. It's animals first, and that once that fire's lit, there's no putting it out.
You know, it's crazy because, you know, I had a podcast last night with Adam. Shout out to Adam. You know, and I kept saying, other than the animals, what makes this hobby so amazing is the people that you could get to share it with, right? But those people could also push you away from it too, you know? So I know for sure if it wasn't for those single homies, I had, like I said last night, bigger people who were respected, who liked me. And I felt like, well, as long as they're cool with me, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And I felt like I worked against myself with that attitude, right? But or was this also people, bro, that I just felt like who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like just kind of full of shit. And I always, like I said, before I even look at anyone, I look at their animals and I see, like, before you act like this big person, I want to see what you've done and what you're kind of like, why are you in this industry? Some people are just good people, and they're good at either just talking other people up to where they just befriend them really easily. I don't know, but I don't look for that shit. I mean, I want to see the animals, bro. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm not at a Boys and Girls Club. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to do that, I'll go join a fucking goddamn chess club right here or some shit, or go to a Christian night or you know, or something, you know, like but I'm here because the animals is my therapy, right? So what can I do to better this experience, right? And I got to tell you, one thing why I respect you so much and and the other homie Chris is that you guys have a podcast, which isn't easy to do consistently. It's hard, especially when you got somebody else, bro, because now you got someone else who could just come up with something. Not that you guys do, just come up. Things can happen to either one, and now you're like, well, fuck, we have to reschedule, right? So, and I started this podcast with somebody who was late every episode. You know, he fucking put me through the ringer. Like, trust me, my rest in peace, Forrest Fanning, no longer here, but he showed up to every episode. Like, even though I think the latest he was like 45 minutes or something like that.
Oh no!
But like, you know, he still showed up, and we're just like, fuck, here he is, and then he took over, you know. But you know, it's so much of the journey that you're a part of right now, and it's inspiring to see, because I started same way you started, which we could get into, like, when you started. Like, when did you kind of like get into the game with a logo and at to this level? I'm curious.
Oh shit. I guess I should have probably thought about that before. Man, I did. it was right around like my official logo and everything came when I partnered up with Chris, man. Like I really
Nice.
I wasn't about the business side. Like I didn't care to brand myself at first.
Right. I was the same way.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the logo meant nothing to me, and like I love my logo now. Like shout out to Gio over at Eden's Den. You talk about a real motherfucker.
Yeah,
He made my logo what it is today. Me, Chris, and Prism Pythons made the one with the fucking, it looks like a ghetto Sub-Zero.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
That was like that was the first one. So we made that. That was official. And then, shout out to Gio. But where I was getting with that is I still don't, like, no disrespect. Like the logo is still not a thing to me. Like I don't care. I don't look at somebody's logo as like, oh, that's a badass logo. They must be a badass keeper. Again, it's going to come back 360. What are you keeping? What are you doing? What steps are you taking with your animals? If I don't give a shit if you got one animal, but you better show that animal off. You know what I mean? Like you better be about the animals. Like that's what I want to see. If you're not about that, a cool logo doesn't mean anything to me.
It should. Only because you have a podcast now. So at the end of the day, you're marketing yourself. So you got a few ways of looking at this, right? You can either do what I did, because if you look at a lot of my beginning podcasts, I made my own thumbnails. Like I didn't do anything to like I'm at this level. I did it because I was like, this could go really bad. Like I could just do this and not want to do it. Like I wasn't really too sure where this was going to go. But then I was very minimal. Like what made my podcast was the content, was me talking, right? But then, I also was like, well, let me put this intro together. Things just started coming once I started taking things more serious. So it's kind of like you coming into the reptile game and you're like not trying to breed, but you want to keep a couple snakes and just see how it is. That's what you're doing. You know what I mean? I think the whole breeding side of like running a podcast is when you start investing into the logo and whatnot. But listen, you have what the I guess the basic 101s are for any podcast, and that's an intro and a logo, and that's it. But it's at the end of the day, bro, none of that shit matters. What matters is what comes out of your mouth. What matters is who's on your show. I guarantee you could run, dude. I'm not gonna lie, man. If it wasn't for people loving my intro so much, I would kill the intro. I would just go right into it. I'm not going to lie. You kind of push people away by having I make people suffer and go 8 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. You know what I mean? Some people just want the meat and potatoes. They'll go like, fuck it. I just want to start hearing talking, right? But, that's, I like I said, I'm more of a people pleaser with my own original viewers. Like I do care about getting on the outer viewership of YouTube, but that's not a priority. If it happens, it happens. But I do know there would be things I'd have to sacrifice, like that intro. I'm telling you right now. Another thing too, and I'm just giving you real quick, little just tips on what you can do to help your YouTube grow with a podcast. Because having a podcast grow on YouTube is super hard, bro. Unless you're talking about drama, like I'm talking like news drama or something like, or you're reacting to some sort of video. It's going to be really. And we're in a reptile game, right? So it's niche. We're pretty small. Okay, so. What I just started realizing is a lot of people don't want to listen to a whole 2-hour, 3-hour podcast. They like to see the important parts of the podcast. So if you look at a lot of these big time podcasters out there, like No Jumper, even though they're crashing right now, and let's see, Vlad TV, like what they do is they don't put out the full interview right away. They'll record it and then they put out clips. So they'll put out like clips of the interview and then they put out the full interview that's edited, right? But that's how
for sure
they get paid off that. Like nobody gets money off lives unless it's super chats or anything like that. You don't make money on lives at all. Just so anybody knows that out there, you do not make any money on YouTube lives unless it comes from, the super chats. So, and that's even for the bigger guys. So what the bigger guys do, like I just said, is all that. And that's a lot of work, bro. Think about it. You have to edit the whole interview and then get it in chunks. And you have to do all this all before the next interview. You know what I mean? So it's a grind. For sure. It's a grind, bro. But listen, that's you'll know if all this is important to you if you do it, right? Because this is hard work, but anything worth doing is worth working your ass for. And I don't know, it just pushes your work ethic. I don't know. You're 29 years old, you said, right?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing since like out of high school? Whatever been your jobs? I'm curious.
Oh shit.
say
Right
most-
out of high school, I went to like an actual massage school. It wasn't like it was massage therapy.
Whoa, you got good hands, buddy.
I used to. Those days are long
I would
over.
have never expected that. Okay, so masseuse.
And then from there, I got tired of it. Man, you run into a demographic that I'm not a huge fan of. A lot of fucking mushy gushy bullshit that I'm not really good with. I don't have great emotions. So I got out of that and I spent a good chunk of my time working security, but it wasn't like walking around an apartment complex. I did event security. I don't like, you know, the guys at the barricades, right? You've been to a Slipknot show.
I know exactly who you're talking about. You're the guys I'm usually sneaking by and fucking, you know, like I'm a dude. Yeah, I know who you are.
So I did that. I worked my way up in that for a few years, and I eventually got to the backstage shit. And that was like talk about like the coolest job I ever had. That was it, because like I've met Chester Bennington.
Cool.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
I've met Maynard of Tool. I've done a lot of cool shit. Corey Taylor, I've met him. Do you know he's a World of Warcraft nerd?
I know he's a lot of nerds in different ways, and I didn't know it was World of Warcraft. I'm sure.
He's a fucking beast.
Maybe you knew that. I don't know.
Dude, beast. Anyways, so from there I took a step up and started working security in a homeless shelter. I know it doesn't sound like a step up, but out here in Phoenix, it's a whole different world. What you're in California, you know.
People come to Phoenix to retire.
Yeah. And it was a different world. It was more like a step towards trying to become a cop. I hung that up. And I got into auto body, man. I was a fan of cars, and well, auto body killed that passion. So
now you're at a point where auto body's leading you to what? What's your game plan after the auto game?
I'm gonna get into the insurance game, man. I'm gonna go to what we call the dark side and build a career and a spider web of things that way, and try to get away from cars and get into just different things, man. I don't like being complacent. I'm not a fan of it. I like to move upwards. And an auto body, there's only 2 or 3 places you can go. In the insurance field, you have a literal spider web of options. You can lateral to different things. You can move up, move down, sideways. It doesn't matter. You know, there's tons of options out there, and that's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, my wife worked for Geico. She worked for Geico for like 2.5 years.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, she hated it.
Geico's trash.
She did everything she had to do. Like, she got her license and all that. And I was so proud of her and shit. But when she got in it, she was like, dude, fuck this shit. I'm like, oh, damn. Listen, I've had plenty of jobs I hated. That's kind of where it leads to. Now she, you know, compared to all her jobs, she loves her job. You know, she kind of runs a show and shit. But that's how things lead to. You know, I think with your personality and whatnot, I think insurance could exactly be right up your alley, you know, because you got to kind of go through the shit, man. You got to you just got to wake up sometimes and do things you just don't want to do. And I'm sure you've had plenty of days like that, obviously, kind of why you're already kind of pivoting and going to the next move. But without that, you don't really have that experience to live off of, man. Like, you got to be miserable a little bit. You know what I mean? And, you know, because some people are just able to do something miserable and they just don't change that life. They're just, you know, like, you know, people who've been mechanics probably for like 30, 40 years. Maybe some have liked it, but maybe some just felt like they had nothing else to do. They don't, you know, and so I feel like if you don't like something, nobody's telling you or making you do anything in life. Like, you know, go fix it. Go do, and especially you're 29. So I told you it's better that you do this now and not do it when you're like 60. You know what I mean? And it's a little too late. Not too late. Not that 60 is too late, but still, like, fuck, man, you're already you're already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're at retirement. Well, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, for sure, it's, you know, you definitely have to be miserable to learn from it. I mean, yeah, you're right. Some people stay complacent and don't do anything about it. I've never been that person. If I don't like something, I'll live and I'll die by this. If I can't change the environment around me, I will change myself. Like, I will not get stuck in one place that I do not enjoy. If I cannot change it to something that I like, I will walk away and I will find something different.
I enjoy that free part of freedom so much. Like, I'll even do it in person. Like, if I'm at a show and I just don't like something, I'm out, bro. I have no problem saying peace. I'm not, you know, fuck it. That's why I go back to my room a lot at shows. I just, cause, you know, I just, sometimes I need a break, and I can only talk to so many people so much, you know, and it kind of just after a while, just like sometimes my head hurts. And so, you know, you just have options in life, and people don't understand that they can just use that option sometimes instead of just do something they don't want to do. I make sure, I mean, sometimes I'm a little too bad at it, but I'm just, if I don't want to do something, I won't do it. I don't give a fuck, you know?
No, man, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, because then it's not, man, what people don't understand, they take offense to shit like that. And I don't understand how or why, when it's a simple mentality. I see people do it all the time. Like, they'll just up and walk away from a conversation. And it's obviously because they're uncomfortable. You don't want them to fake it. Like, don't ever fake anything around me. Like, I can't stand that shit. Don't force yourself to be around me. Don't force yourself to be around people that are around me. If you want to walk away from something, walk away from it. It is what it is. Like, I would much rather somebody come up to me and be like, hey, I just wasn't feeling it. I was done with it. Cool. Don't fake shit. Don't be fake. That's 100% genuine. You're walking away from something you're either uncomfortable with, you just aren't feeling it, or you don't want to be involved. And that's fine. That's, again, freedom, right? Yeah. We have the right to do whatever we want.
You know, and honestly, man, like, haters are haters, but the worst kind of hater is somebody who doesn't have the balls to confront why they hate you, right? Like there's people you never thought had a problem with you, but you're just finding out through other people, and you're like, what? Like, I never thought this. And it's crazy how, like, there's people with those kind of issues, right? And they feel a lot comfortable expressing themselves to a stranger, or not stranger, like stranger to me or whoever else, like, not that but they'll say all they have to say about you to somebody else. But when it comes to you coming face to face with the person, none of those feelings are there no more until you're gone again, right? So you can't do nothing about that, though. And that's the thing. The more you hang around here, because Levi, at the end of the day, there's probably people who look at you and Chris and think, oh, this, you know, because you think about how many people want to run a podcast, right? And everyone think that their podcast is relevant, and they're going to look at yours like, oh, they're probably not going to be here much longer. You know what I mean? And the more,
for sure,
the more you're here, the more you are going to up that ante and up those chances of having those people talk shit about you behind your back. That's just because now what can they say to you? You shut them up. And once you shut haters up, they can't talk to you no more. They have to go to somebody else. So that's what I'm saying. Just keep doing your thing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to get to your animals here in just a minute, but correct me if I'm wrong. Was there a point earlier this year, or at some point this year, where you were kind of wanting to take a break, or you didn't want, like, you wanted to kind of dip for a little bit or something like that? Or what was that about?
No, for sure, man. And yeah, I did.
Tell me about it.
And let me clear the air on that real quick, right? I'm really excited that you asked me that. To any of our haters, and I know who you motherfuckers are, and I would never name drop you here because I won't give you that clout because I'm smarter than that. It has nothing to do with you guys. You guys had no part in that, so you will not get off on it, and I won't give people that time of day. I won't give them that successful feeling that they were able to get me in that spot. It had to do with everything away from it. There was a lot going on in my personal life that I won't speak on because that's not something I put on camera.
Right. It's business.
It was a lot of scheduling conflicts. It was a lot of just the grind, man. A lot of it was starting to eat away from me. I wasn't focusing on my animals as much. I wasn't hyper focusing on projects and getting where I wanted to be. And I did take a break. Me and Chris it was about almost a month, give or take a week, away from the podcast. Chris did one with Clover's Reptiles. That was a pretty badass interview while I was up on a mountain. And we cleared our heads, man. We wiped it out. I feel great. I'm back. Our return was last night with Bill Stiegel, the best interview we've done to date.
Oh, thanks. Bill's the man. Bill's the man. I'll take anything behind Bill all day, every day. That's my dog right there.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just something like, man, like we had to go through that. We had to go through it. You know what I mean? We had to hit that point where there was a conversation. It was even brought to my story on Instagram where I was like, I'm gonna lay low for a little bit. I'm gonna take some time off, clear my fucking head. If I come back, I come back. If I don't, I don't. And in that time, I cleared my head. I came back, man, and I feel better than ever. We've cleared that doubt. The scheduling we fixed. Just as a fun heads up here, like we're dropping down only Sundays. So Chris is working on his schedule so we can go earlier, so we're not conflicting with the trap because it's unintentional.
Hey man, you're competing, bro. I get it. You're trying to compete. You told me this from the beginning. So let's I'm just kidding, bro.
But no, honestly, it's not even like, I don't even want to say friendly competition. Like, you're right. When you first said it, like, it's not competing. You know what I mean? We're in the same industry, but we're walking two very different paths. We are not cut from the same cloth, and that's evident. We have two very different perspectives.
Hold on, I'm going to stop you because we're both real. Like, that's the thing about you is I don't have to question the emotions behind who's speaking. There's other people out there who paint, you know, to me it looks like a clown, but they paint a different picture on their face and they pretend. There's good pretenders out there. And a lot of them pretend for, you know, meaning like, I don't want to speak like this because I want to keep this G-rated, and God bless those people. There's room for everything in this industry, right? So for one
sure.
thing, if it's one thing this reptile podcast industry needs is definitely more real animal keepers, like real people who actually keep animals, not just people who keep it real, which is fine, but what are you relating to what relates to us? You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like, first and foremost, I hate this because, like, everyone, you know, arrogance could really rub people the wrong way, but I just use that as motivation. Like, when I say that no one could touch this podcast, I say that to myself, so it instills my mind and makes me go hard, because I could easily just not be motivated, right? So I know what pumps myself up. People need to find out what pumps himself up. So when people see MJ so hyped up in the morning on his stories, that's what I do to get my fucking shit going. And sometimes I do it when I feel like, if I'm slugging in the morning, if I feel like if I either want to go, like, I don't know, not do what I need to do, I'll fucking just go on the story and I'll snap myself out of it, or I smoke. I'm not gonna lie, man. I this is why you got to find what works for you. I can find many other things that could be a lot worse than weed. I do know I may need to kick back a little bit. I do act like I'm Bone Thugs and Harmony sometimes, and I like to smoke. But literally, bro, I'll do my affirmations and I'll do my meditation and do what I do in the morning, clear-headed. But as soon as I smoke, I want to get to work, and that's what works for me. You know what I mean? And I drink my coffee and I fucking hit it. But people just need to find out what pumps themselves up, man. Do you have anything that pumps you up? Like, do you ever find yourself where either you had a crazy day at work or you have some sort of craziness happen in your life and you have a bunch of animals to clean and you want to get excited for it? Do you have a way to get yourself excited for it if you're not too pumped up, or do you have a way of getting yourself pumped up for something? I'm curious.
I do, man. Honestly, and it's therapeutic. And through the therapeutic procedure that I do, it gets me fucking pumped. I shut everything else out. I have a mental, like, when I leave work, I touch something and work stays there. When I get home, same thing. When I walk into the reptile room, man, off to the side here, like I've shown it on a couple of podcasts, I've got a door with a picture of my late father-in-law on it. And I look at that poster and I remember everything he fucking taught me, and I touch that door and everything stops before I come in this reptile room. And I pull a snake out and I sit down, no music, no phone, no computer. I shut the world out and I focus on the animal, and I spend 10, 15 minutes with that animal, and it gets me fucking pumped, man, because I look at the beauty in the animal. I understand why I'm doing this, and it gets me to that mindset. I love this animal. Now let me show these animals that I love them. They don't understand it, and I don't give a shit. But I show them love by taking care of them, by making sure their enclosure's clean. They've got fresh water. Like you said, daily water changes. Making sure the bedding's straight, making sure the temperatures are on point, making sure my ambient's on point, making sure nobody's having a bad shed. Nothing pisses me off more than a bad shed, because I know my humidity levels are off because I live in the freaking desert.
Yeah.
That's how I do it, man.
Yeah, and like I said, man, at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of my shit sheds so good is because I'm all over it. If I know a snake is going into shed, that thing gets extra soaks. I do what I gotta do to make sure that snake is going to shed in one piece. Now, mind you, there's things happen in life, and so, like, I have this one emerald that gave me perfect sheds the entire 5 years she's been with me, and then for whatever reason, she just showed, like, she went into shed and then she never shed, and I actually had to physically start her shed for her. And I was like, what the fuck is this all about? I was like, you've never done this to me. And so it was like really one of the most pain in the ass sheds, because it was so stuck to her skin. It was like what, and I soaked and you know, another thing about sheds, right? No one, like if you're getting hammered for a stuck shed, as long as it's not an eye cap, right? Here's the thing. Shed should not be on the eyes, shouldn't be on the mouth. You know what I mean? A piece on the back or something. That shit's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's not the end of the world, but also you want to address it. Shouldn't be a back-to-back thing. Bad sheds do happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But when you're all over it, you're all over it. And I got to tell you, I don't deal with bad sheds a lot. I mean, but when I do have a lot of snakes, so they can happen, right? But, you know.
Oh, for sure.
You just, you know, you soak and you stay over it. Like Bill Stiegel, I don't know if he talked about how he soaks. He does 24 hours, straight soak 24 hours, which I've done plenty of times. That next morning or next day, whatever, comes off like a condom. Wow, sorry. But I'm just saying. That's it. And I don't even, never really use them, to be honest. I say I can only imagine it comes off very slippery and easy, right? And so that's what I was thinking of, sorry. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, but dude, these are, like, see, a lot of people will look at their animal and either see a shit, like a dirty water dish, or they'll see a stuck shed, and they don't even want to bother going and doing that extra stuff because it's not important to them, you know?
I don't.
And listen, but that's on them. I don't have that kind of energy in this room. Like I don't sleep good unless I know waters are drinkable in this room. And that's why I do try to do water changes every day. Every day. I just caught myself doing the same fucking rack for 3 days in a row, all because I saw one dirty water dish. And so I just do all of them since I'm already on a roll. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's fine because it's like, yeah, it's kind of overworking, but okay, I'm a good kind of deed here. Like when I'm in bed, good possible chance that this snake could get a good clean drink of water. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. Just imagine if your water source was limited, or your water source was like only fresh for a day, and that's all you got for 7 days. Like that just never computed with me. You know what I mean? And also too, like I said, stuck sheds. Like I had this one snake where I can't even count the soaks, and it came down to where I was taking it off, but little by little by little, and to where like she still has a little bit on her back, and fuck it, you know, it'll come off on the next shed, because the next shed I'm all over it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just how far are people willing to go for their animals when they are keeping them, and that's what determines, I guess, your seriousness in this, right? Because I mean, these, like I said, bro, these animals didn't get asked to be put in this position. Like none of these asked to be put in these boxes, even though they're awesome boxes by Focus Cube. They never got asked to be there. Yeah. So it's kind of like our duty, I feel like, you know, and so just a lot of people don't look at it like that, you know, and this is. And
man, well, Chris always asks a fucking question. One thing that could be changed about the industry. That's it, man. Like that exact mental. And, you know, I don't care. You obviously know I say what I say, and I don't care for backlash. People can hate on it all day. That exact mental needs to be in every single keeper. If you don't have that mental, you're not doing it right. Like, yeah, you can get away with murder. You can get by with just that bare minimum, but that's not what this is about. Like, I'm sorry to break it to people, but that's not what keeping these animals is about. This is not, they're not self-maintaining animals. It's not how things work. They're prehistoric. They do, and I hate the excuse, right? I don't know if you concur with this, man, but I hate the excuse, what they do it in the wild. Oh, well, imagine if they were in the wild. Okay, congratulations. You took them a step up and put them in from a fucking shithole into a storage cabinet. Congratulations. When you could be putting them in a luxury apartment, you can give them the best care that they can have. Because if you truly love these animals, that's what you want for the animal. Right. If you are about the animals, you're going to go leaps and bounds. You're going to wake up from a dead sleep because you forgot to change a water bowl. You're going to come out here when you've had the worst day. The odds are stacked against you. You find your motivation, and you do it because you love those animals. And once you build that momentum, like you were talking about, when you did a rack 3 days in a row. I do most of my enclosures almost every day. I'm changing water dishes, whether they're clean or not. I'm dumping them out. I live in Arizona. I'm blessed with this. The substrate stays wet more often than not, except in like the dead of winter. There's like probably 3 weeks of the year where it's just too cold to be able to get away with that. But the rest of the year, it's damp because I'm just dumping water bowls and the humidity's perfect. I'm getting great sheds out of it. but I do it just to do it because I know it's that extra step. It's that extra care that I put into these animals because it's a true love and passion.
And and like I said, you kind of feel good about it. I'm very prideful about my collection, bro. Like I really am.
For sure.
But I'm very blessed too. Like I also know that it's all who I made connections with, and a lot of the hard work, money that I made went into my collection and stuff. But man, this could all be gone tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? And as much as that would crush me and destroy me, I would just start over. Like because I love it that much. I would never, like God bless. Like none of this happens, but like something could so terribly just wipe everything out. I would still get back in it. Like I don't ever, if I'm breathing on this earth, I'm gonna have some sort of reptile. I'm gonna have some sort of animal. Maybe not ever get to this point, but I'm only 37, so I do see myself having to rebuild something like this if I need to, because this is my life, bro. It's like asking me, like, do you want air? Like, this is my air, bro. Like, seriously, like, I go on any trip. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The fact that I have no trip in this headset. Like, I'm not leaving next month. I haven't left this month. Actually, I do leave this month. God damn it. But it's not podcast. I go to Jamaica tomorrow. No, 2 days. I'm leaving for Jamaica. I'm going with my wife. Yeah, I'm stoked. But it's not like I'm not doing a show. It's literally just go have a good time, right? So that's cool, right? But ever since I haven't been traveling and doing the grind shit on the road and whatnot, bro, I'm so happy home. Like, because, dude, I got Persinus laying more eggs, which is a green tree monitor. She's laying more eggs. I got this fucking chondro about to ovulate. I see so much shit happening, and I just like to be home, bro. Like, I love being home because I'm home with my childrens and my dogs, my wife. And home is where I'm just a home person, bro. Like, now that I'm having a kid, catch me at a Reptile Super Show at best. That's about it. Because I love what I do, bro. Like, fuck it. Like, you come to me. I don't need to go anywhere no more. I'm good. I did my little fucking tours, even though I still got to go to Ed Marino's, and there's still a couple places. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'll never travel again. It's just not on the agenda for a long time because I want to be home. Everything I got to do to blow up, bro, could be done right here. I don't need to leave anywhere. You know what I mean? So the fact that I know that just makes me happy because I love being home with my animals, bro. And the thing is, you got to be here when you have animals to this capacity, bro. Anything could go any direction, especially when breeding and stuff like that. And, temperature fluctuations. Like, I'm still at a new house where temps could go one direction easily. If I don't open the garage a little bit, this room could get overheated very easily, the incubator. So that's why I want to be home so much. And I want to kind of lead this into your collection here. I want to know exactly where the size of your collection is at right now, and all the species you keep. Why don't we get into that? And while you're saying that, I'm gonna take a quick leak. I can hear you though, so go ahead and speak. Get into it.
Bet. All right. So recently I made a massive change. My inner circle knows about it. I don't know if I've posted, but I've rehomed a majority, all but. Fuck. Now I got to put my mind on. Let's see here. Gopher. There's a pine snake. That's it. Right? Yeah. All I own colubrid wise is my true burning love and passion and only keeping, I don't intend to breed, is the bull snake family, the trio, the pine, the gopher, the bull. I have 2 of the 3. Love them to pieces. 1 wild caught, 1 captive bred. A majority of my collection now is boas. I've decided I'm hyper focusing on that. I've got the super dwarf for ticks, a single carpet python that I love to pieces because it's an absolute asshole, and African house snakes. That's basically my entire collection, man. Just hyper focusing on what I love, what I want to work with, and what I want to look at every single day and never let the flame go away. I do plan to add more in the future, but as far as what I have here, let me make sure. Oh, and then I have ball pythons too. Non-project ball python, I guess. I don't know. One's my wife's. I have a blood, and that thing's a fucking dickhead.
So what's the total count? Just give me the total count if you don't mind. That way.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. 1, 2, 4, 16, 17, 18. 18, bro. I've dropped numbers significantly to 18. 23.
So you're
I
at
dropped significantly.
So you're at 23 now, and you were at what before? Were you at previously?
37, 38. I really am horrible about keeping a head count, bro.
That's fine. No, so and these were just animals you were keeping, or were these like breeding projects?
They were breeding projects, man. I was heavy into colubrids. Again, like I thought I loved them. And I do, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be a special little place in my heart for colubrids. But as far as like what I actually want to pull out and hold and play with and dance around the room with, they just weren't on that priority list, man. I decided to part ways because I want to hyper focus.
And the hyper focus is on what foundation right now? Like what are you looking at foundation on right now?
The toppest of the top of the top is boas.
Okay. What kind of BCIs? Are we talking like the Emperors, or what are we talking about?
BCIs.
BCIs. Okay.
Working the MORPH side of things. And then I actually just started the journey. Picked up a boa constrictor on Saturday. And I am going to hyper focus on. It's not a good start for the localities because I'm not 100% sure it's a fucking Guyana. But I want to eventually get to the point where I'm hyper focused on localities.
Your goddamn word's starting to grow on me, man. Hyper focus. I like it because I'm hyper and I like to be focused. Hyper focused.
Man, there's nothing better in life, man. And you can't say that you're not hyper focused though.
Oh, I'm super, yeah. But like the thing is, like I'm hyper to where I'm not focused, but I'm also like I use my hyperness to focus. Does that make sense? So like
it does.
This is where I focus. Like if I'm in the room, bro, like I am fucking. I'm in the zone. You know what I mean? Like I become
the world doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean it does, but it doesn't. Like if it exists, if we're talking about this shit, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
if it doesn't, like God bless my mom, my dad, love them to death. But if I'm in the middle of a rack, and I'm sure I'll regret this someday because they're only here for so long. But man, family, man, like if I know they're not calling me for something that, and like I said, maybe something could be bad, but I'm just like, bro, it's so hard to get me to stop what I'm doing and pick up the phone because for the most part, like that could just ruin my whole momentum. You know what I mean? And I always call after I'm done. I know sometimes it's late, but I always call my mom and dad when I'm done. I go, sorry, mom and dad, I was on a podcast or I was just fucking doing snake stuff. And they always understand. Right.
For sure.
Yeah, guys, definitely. If your mom and dad call you guys, either call them back or, definitely answer and say you love them. That's one thing I do want to work on a lot better. I felt like my mom and dad were my everything. They still are, but my 20s, I'm very selfish, just partying my ass off. And then even now the animals, I'm very selfish. Like I'm even like, but this is a good kind of selfish. Like this is like, it's helping me grow a family and like, so now they're like very proud of me and they're just letting me just do me. But I do got to find time for them. I do got to find time for the ones who are just excited for me to grow. And that's my immediate family. And shout out to my sisters, my mom, dad, and then even my in-laws. Like I love my family, man. So people need to just kind of always, I feel like that's something people should be thankful for to themselves, especially if they're not having a good time, because even this, right? Like you've had moments obviously where you just kind of was like, fuck this reptile shit, man. Like this, like these people, like I'm sure you've had those breakdown moments where you're just like, fuck all these people. I'm out. You know what I mean? But then you have to go to something like, and the thing is, I always have my wife, like, and I'm talking about, man, when the first couple of years I was I replied to every comment. I was just so like, who's talking shit? Who's talking shit? Who's talking shit? And that shit got so wearing, bro. Like it got so to the point where even my wife was like, hey, are you going to continue this? Like, cause like you should just start ignoring them because it's not going to stop. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then I just noticed that when people are talking about you, bro, and you're not responding, like if you're not even responding to them and they keep talking, that is a good thing, bro. Like there's people promoting you, like you're literally getting promoted and you're not a part of the bullshit. You're just letting them talk. You know what I mean? And I got to tell you how many people that I've had come to me within the last couple months who are just like, hey man, like, didn't know about your podcast, but I heard this guy and he said this and I wasn't too sure. I was confused, but I checked you out and I love what you do. You know what I mean? So, dude, that's the whole beauty of like, the whole saying haters make you famous. It's a real thing. And I'm not saying I'm famous, but I'm just saying like, no matter what bad intention somebody has talking about you, there's no such thing as bad publicity, bro. Like they're still talking about you, bro. So It's like, hey, thanks for the free promo. Like, I appreciate it, and you gotta kill them with kindness and just not respond. That's the thing. They hate it when you don't respond. But sometimes,
for sure.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's just fun responding, bro.
It's almost addicting.
Because you'll see that one person where you're like, what? You're talking shit, and you're just like, and you just gotta let you like, and it doesn't justify anything, but sometimes you just want to let all these other little fucking idiots know that this guy's fake as fuck. Like this guy. So sometimes I just have to drop my bomb comment and just leave, but that's not even worth it. Like, don't even. It's just not worth it. Like, it's, and I always tell myself this, and then I come to a point where I think, okay, this is worth it, and I do it, and then I always like, God damn it, that just wasn't worth it. So, and I'm saying this on air. Let the record reflect that it's just not worth it. I'm not going to just, I'm good. You know what I mean? And shout out to all my trappers, all my Patreon members. And thank you so much for being a part of the journey and the family, Levi. But, and I think definitely you were one of the homies. Chris was, and this was all like, you guys did it. Like, this was when things were thick for me about this whole, let's cancel MJ for being a bully. And you and many people kept showing me screenshots and updating me on what's happening. And I was doing everything I can to try to mute it. You know what I mean? But I couldn't help it because you guys were just looking out for me. But then that once I let you guys know, like, I don't give a fuck, and it stopped, that was it. It was just done. You know what I mean? And mind you, people know that others people still talking shit, but I'm not getting being sent anything anymore. I'm not being sent clips because it's fucking just old. Like, it's old, right? And it's kind of like creepy when someone talks about you that much, and that's the highlight of their content career. Like, if they're making content off you and your videos are what makes the biggest breakout for that dude, holy shit, that's huge. I'm glad I'm that sick.
I made a story about it not too
That's
long
crazy.
ago, man.
Yeah,
it's honestly, that kind of was like my turning point after I posted that story, and I was like, you know what? Even subliminally entertaining motherfuckers, right? Like, it ain't even fucking worth it, man. There's so much I could sit here and I could pop off and go after so many people, and I could slam the fucking book on it. I really fucking could at this point. It's not worth the time.
No, because it gives them, it gives them relevancy. And what's relevancy is when someone talks about them. Other than that, no one's going to be like, hey, did you see this guy's clutch? No, because he ain't got nothing popping. These motherfuckers they don't do nothing but talk.
Where's your animals?
Exactly.
Where are your animals? What are you doing? What are your projects? What are you doing? At the end of the day, what are they doing to better the hobby? Let's talk real. Let's all the drama, all the bullshit aside, bro. Let's focus up. Let's hyper focus for a second.
Hyper focus on this.
And everybody that watches this podcast is on this in the live right now, and anybody that watches this rewatches this. Please do me a favor and think to yourself, the people that you fuck with and the people around you, including yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself this question: what are you doing to better the hobby? Because the drama, the nonsense, the shenanigans that goes on every fucking day does not better the hobby. Period. It doesn't. When we're breeding animals and we're showing off these amazing creatures that we're bringing to the mainstream media, and we're finally breaking ground and we're getting somewhere. Of course, we got this giant fucking cloud, and I'm sure we'll get into this, MJ. But on the other side of that cloud, we have this beautiful fucking flowery rainbowness of fucking awesomeness of what we do. Like, we are creating beautiful animals, and the drama and the nonsense and the bullshit just shits all over it because that's not bettering the hobby. When you produce what Justin Canova is pushing out, like, I am not a fan of ball pythons, but when that man fucking posts something, you can't tell me that's not fire. It is a brand new project nobody thought about, that is years in the making, but it catches attention and people are like, God damn, I want to do that. Or when you are posting these green tree pythons, these emerald tree boas, your fucking scrub pythons, man, it's such an attention catcher to bring to better this hobby, because people ask questions. What do I have to do to get into that? What goes into keeping that snake? What have you done sacrifice wise to get into these animals? That's what we need to be asking, not whose podcast is the best or who's talking shit about who or what is the best procedure to get rid of people. Like, fuck all that. Set all of that aside. What are we doing to better the hobby? What is the next step? What is the next move? What are you producing? What are you keeping? What are you showing off? How are you bringing new people into the hobby? Because I will tell you for a fact, I have talked to an endless amount of people so far that see the drama, and I've been involved in some of it, and goddamn it hurts. No, I don't want nothing to do with this industry. When you hear that, when you hear somebody that has a chance and an opportunity and has wanted to get into this, and they tell you, no, I don't want to get into this because these fucking clowns make it sound horrendous, that's not, you don't ever want to be a part of that. That fucking sucks so bad to know. We could have brought somebody new in. Because for all we know, that is the next movie star. That's the next Conor McGregor. We don't know what the hell they're doing. Is that we never got to know them because they walked away because they see all the drama and the nonsense. And it goes 360 around the entire industry. Everybody's been a part of it at some point because it brings that clout. It brings a couple of dollars for a short amount of time. And it's so unnecessary. When I'm telling you, look at your green tree pythons speak for themselves. Your emerald tree boas, your scrubs. When you post something like that, people go, oh shit. When you post a 6-gene ball or 6-morph ball python that's been years in the making, that just pops off the camera. You don't need an HD camera to catch the colors on these animals. They do the talking.
Facts. iPhones work great.
Yeah, they do. Hashtag iPhone gang.
Yep. Just don't understand Android people, but that's a different subject.
We about to fucking start some shit.
We'll talk later on that. No, but yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's kind of like Barczyk said this the best. And you know, I try to take pages out of Barczyk's book because Barczyk, man, like I got to tell you, man, I had a lot of good homies I got to talk to during that time earlier this year when they wanted to cancel me for being a bully. And I talked to Barczyk, whose ordeal was way crazier than mine. Like, you know what I mean? Like way, like I'm talking about times 10, right? What he went through.
Man,
yeah. So he talked to me and just kind of told me how, like, at the end of the day, like only certain people's opinion should matter. Right. Because when you're doing stuff, people are always going to talk. Right. But like if Bill Stiegel had something to say, right? Like if Bill Stiegel were to come out with a video stating shit about me, that would crush me because I'm so close to Bill. Bill knows me. He stayed at my house and hung out with me. He knows my wife. That's somebody who knows me. That's a valid person who could speak on something like that, right? And that would crush me. But Bill's my boy. Bill, you know, my brother. But other people, you can't force their feelings on how they feel about you. You know, I had a guy today who's like, dude, he's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's up with your hair? And I was like, what? He's like, I love your content. I love your reptiles, but that fucking ponytail, like that hair bun, like he hated it. And I'm like, dude, fuck, it really bothers you? I was like, hey, listen, I promise I'll never put any buns on my reptiles. Are you cool with that? And he was just like, oh man, and he kind of laughed at it. You know what I mean? So sometimes maybe I'm overreading things, but still at the end of the day, it's kind of like, how can you force how somebody feels a certain type of way? And really, if it's you and I who have and me and you and I have had heart to hearts, you know, Levi, we've had.
Oh, for sure.
But we're man enough to talk. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand the number one person who made a video about me and wanted me canceled never spoke to me. We never spoke. I never knew I even had a problem with this guy. And he was on multiple podcasts saying that I broke many straws with him and all this stuff. And I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And then, of course, I run face to face with him at Tinley, and he can't even make eye contact with me. And it's like, that's a sad person, dude. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck, like, God. And then right there just kind of made me feel like I can't believe I went in on this guy on my show. Like I almost felt like ashamed, you know, just because I'm like, you know, this little, you know, why'd I do that, you know? But at the end of the day, I was feeling some type of way, and I don't hold back, man. I will still won't hold back. I will. You know, that's the thing. This is why I don't need to drink alcohol, because when I drink alcohol, I don't know, there's that filter's gone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to kind of like, hey, MJ, I know you want to say this, but you can't. You just can't say that, right? With alcohol,
sure.
There's just no, you can't. I just say it, you know? But the thing is, most of the shit I really mean. You know, the only thing I didn't really mean was the way I emotionally laid out the whole J thing. And I already talked about that and said that that's not what I meant, but still, I said it, and it made a lot of people feel some type of way, you know. But I hate people who fuck up with animals, man. I'm just telling you, man. That's one thing I will never. I don't give a fuck how big the person is. Like Barchek, right? I love him to death, but he could be like, MJ, stop saying this about this person, and this person could be known as an animal abuser, and I'll be like, Barchek, don't fucking tell me what to do, because fuck that person. And like you're right. Maybe I won't make a whole episode and like rant, but that you can't tell me how I feel about what somebody did to something that I love. And it's just a person, like, you know, people look what happened to rapists, and look what happened to children, like guys who rape children in prison. Look what they do to people like that, right? I'm not saying, I'm just saying, right? And I'm not saying I want to kill these people, but I'm going to let people know, fuck that shit. You feel me? Because that's not right. And that shit lives with me. It does. So anyways, what were you going to say?
No, so real quick, no, you're right. There is a subsection of this one, and it is when it comes to people that are abusing animals, or they're not keeping their animals correctly and refuse to change it, that needs to be spoken about. And I'm so glad that you redirected this thought, right? Because let's talk about the other nonsense that goes on in the industry. And this is not an attack on you, but when the other nonsense is going on, these people get away with it. Right, you know, they're abusing animals, and that's not being brought to light. It's the petty drama that gets brought up over. Oh, did you hear that so and so said this about so and so, and blah blah blah. Man, again, fuck all that. Like that. Again, what are we doing to better the hobby? When we speak on, do you care if I name drop as long as it's in reason?
Bro, are you asking me?
You know, let's fucking talk about it, man. Samson fucking Pruitt, dude.
Right.
Like, you talk about one of the people I genuinely cannot stand. I've never spoken on this man, but after everything I've learned about it, bro, what the fuck? How? Like, you talk about people getting canceled. Cancel this man. Like, I'm sorry, not fucking sorry, man. Like, you said it yourself. We don't, or who was it? Said we don't deserve dogs, right? We really don't. And when I find out people are abusing dogs, bro, like in the same passion, that shit keeps me up at night. Because I own dogs. I love my fucking dog. I love snakes. I love snakes more. I'll admit it. I love snakes more than I love fucking the human race. I could go without humans. And as long as I got my snakes, as long as I got my dogs, my animals, I'm straight. So to know that somebody has just openly abused these animals and gets accepted, how? Why? Like, it's not okay. That is the kind of shit we need to bring to light, and we need to talk about. And if we're going to cancel anybody, animal abusers are at the very, very top of that list, because it's our job to protect them. We are the quote-unquote apex predator of the world. It is our job to protect lessers that can't protect themselves.
So check this out, bro. There was a time about, I want to say 2019. It was definitely before COVID, but I want to say it was at the peak of this guy Samson's, where everybody was not fucking with this guy. And when I say everybody, I mean other than his chick, or I don't know, his girl, his wife, whatever, maybe, who never left his side, and what a writer for that. But I'm just saying, everybody at one point was not fucking with Samson. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and trust me, there was so much evidence, so much like posts and just pictures, nasty shit, man. And it's all, I still have all this shit on my phone. Like, you know what I mean? And so
I've seen it.
I was just like, well, like, dude, this guy's, this guy ain't coming back. I'll tell you that much. I thought that to myself. Right. And then I forget what reptile show I go to, and there he is, all set up. And I'm like, this is the guy? I was like, he's fucking here? I was like, this is how? Like, and this is when I noticed that if he's paying money to do something, if he wants to do it, ain't nobody going to tell him no. The reptile show didn't tell him not to come, right? And so after I saw that, and I'm not going to lie to you, bro, I talked to him. I went up to him. I was like, what's up, man? My name's MJ. And this is like, I didn't ask him to come on the show or anything. I was just like, I just wanted to kind of feel him out. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, he had $30,000 price oscillants and like all this crazy price shit where I'm like, no one's going to buy this shit. I mean, some of it was pretty nice, but it was also just like, you know, it was what it was. But just to kind of tell you where I'm coming at with this, now we speed things up to 2023. All right. I was going to show the comments, but I'll let you guys go look at it. If you guys want to go to the Garrett Hartle interview that I had, go look at how many people are standing up for that guy right now. Not a lot, but I'm just saying now there's people who are like, oh, you're just here for drama. Like that's just all you do. You only do drama. I'm like, oh, because I touched your feelings. That's why I only do drama. But that's why I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm saying it because I want to touch your feelings, because the truth hurts. That whole saying about the truth hurts. Oh, it does. It stings.
For sure.
It stings, but it feels better after a while. But boy, does the truth hurt. And so there's just people up there kind of validating for this guy now. And that's why, bro, I could do the worst thing on earth. And if I still want to do podcasts, I'll still have my people no matter what. And he still has his people. It doesn't matter. So this is what I think now, right? And mind you, I will never just sweep shit under the rug, but I got to tell you, I mean, I much rather let someone bring these people up, Jay, Samson, Pruitt. I'd rather let someone else bring them up than me bring them up. You know, if you ask me a question on them, then sure. But like my agenda for every podcast will no longer include those guys. I don't give a fuck. All right. At the end of the day, real piece of shit people on this earth eventually burn themselves down. Like they at some point, right? And they either burn themselves down after death or to lead to their death. But at some point, the wash comes out. Like you are exposed at some point in your life. And I will tell you right now, man, mark my words. A lot of these bigger keepers who've been keeping for years and years and years, who are barely keeping up with their shit. Like understand there are the biggest names with the biggest facilities who could barely pay their shit right now. And dude, why do you think the content is so out of control? Why do you think YouTube is what YouTube is? Because all these fucking people who make money off YouTube who aren't making anything nearly as much as they were pre-COVID, they're desperate. And honestly, animal sales ain't where they are at. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, I'm mainly talking about one person who is so desperate with this content, so desperate with content that he refuses to put any US ARC stuff on his fucking, and that's when you got to realize, why isn't this person putting, like, that's like it's like a goddamn 101 for any animal keeper, isn't it? Like when we come in this game, we don't have to, but it's our duty to support US ARC. Imagine having the biggest platform in the reptile world, all around the world, nothing about US ARC, but hey, I'm the hero, dude. It's just weird. Like it doesn't. So whatever. Like I'm just saying. That's
one of my biggest frustrations, man.
There's so many frustrations, Levi. I don't give a fuck. None of that shit matters to me. It doesn't. And that's why, even though I run a podcast, even though I do want to speak on it, those animals are now, you know, the animals I have a heart for are now dead at this point. They're gone. Okay. The death won't stop. Death is going to continue. I just need to worry. It's kind of like me being so heartbroken, and I am heartbroken for any kind of war happening in a third world country, but all those people, innocent people affected, same shit was happening with animals. Innocent animals in the wrong people's hands who just don't give a fuck. And we're talking about reptiles. We were talking about, you know, if it's one thing that happened with the US ARC massacre, the Florida massacre, is what if these were dogs, right? This would have blown things to a whole nother level, right? But,
for sure.
But they're still dog abusers. It doesn't matter. Like here, what I'm saying is there's still piece of shit humans who take care of dogs, who don't even take care of dogs. So no matter what you have your hands in this world, humans are ruining it.
No, I agree.
Humans are the
100%.
fucking problem. Because they are working with shit that needs more attention. They don't give a fuck about it. So they neglect it. And this is coming from people who probably really cared about the animal at one point, but now it just got out of hand. And that'll never happen with me, bro. I love this podcast, but it comes second. This right here behind me, I'll fucking say this every show. I don't care, because that's how I live by it. It's like a credo for me. Animals first, podcast second. You know what I mean?
100%. No, I'm in the same mental, man. I've said it, and that's, again, taking that break really helped me hyper focus and get back 3 steps to where I needed to be with the animals. Because
go ahead.
It obviously has to be balanced, but the animals come first, 100%. And if I ever feel again that the graph is starting to slip, I'm gonna reel myself back in. It has to. Like, these animals come first. I can't as a third primary. I can't be a hypocrite, but first is the love of the animals.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it. Like, I truly love these animals, and it's a lot of fun talking to people that ain't in the hobby, right? We're talking about US ARC and getting new people involved and just stepping out of our bounds. I've got 3 people that I'm working on getting in the hobby right now. That's at my job, trying to introduce them and get them ready and get them prepped out and tell them everything they need to know. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
because it's fun to share.
What this is about. It is.
it's fun to share, man. And that's why, you know, it's like I said, when I was back to taking a break from the podcast, you know, all I was doing was my animal stuff and talking to my homies. I had no connection to anything else. And it felt great. Like, it felt great because I had my people. I had the, you know, if I need to talk to someone, I know who to talk to. I have my wife. I got a life, you know what I mean? Which is great. So it's kind of like, I don't need all this shit, but I want it. Like, this is a passion of mine, man. The podcasting game is, and like, you know, obviously it felt really easy in the beginning. And I don't want to say it's easy now, but obviously challenges happen. I've had some challenges this year. We could all admit that, right? So, but this is what made me want to go more now, you know, because challenges have to lead to something good, right? You'd think that when you have something that you have to face, no matter what it is, there's a reward behind that, you know?
100%.
Same with you. You took a break, but you're back. You obviously faced something. But imagine if you never would have come back. I can't imagine that. I think I talked to Chris about this because he was like, hey, I think Levi's thinking about like stepping out or some shit. Or I think he told me he wanted to step out. And I was like, because he told me about all these like people questioning him on who he supports and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, I could never imagine anybody on this earth getting me out of this game. Like, oh my God, I'm turning all these animals in because of this person or because of these group of people. Like, never, bro. I will go out a hermit. I don't give a fuck. You are never like but that's what makes me meet with these animals. Some people care more about the friendship than they do about the animals. And that's okay. Those sticker swap people, like the ones who are like, I want to be the first one to like your video and I want to comment. I'm first. Like that, those people put that kind of shit on their resume. Like they want to be known for that. Good for you. I love that kind of support too. Don't make me wrong, but that's not my goal. I'll tell you that much. To be like, hey, did you notice I was the first person to comment on your video? Me. I'm pretty sick. Shut the fuck up. Go breed something. Go do something by the animals. I'm so tired of people just like, I get it. Being a brown noser, like reach arounds is a profession. I understand it's probably like, what do they call it? The professional, let's call it the PRL, Professional Reach Around League. Okay. Let's I'm just saying there is a professions of people out there, and I'm not gonna lie, people in this game eat that shit up. I mean,
For sure.
People love compliments, but there's just some people who just like, oh, you're my friend because you always give me compliments. Oh, goddamn, are you really like you that suckered into that shit? And mind you, bro, people are because they just don't got enough going on in their lives.
No, for sure. And you know, the one thing that I could say that I've seen the most connection with, those people are the ones that don't breed, are the ones that aren't keeping multiple species, aren't keeping more than a couple of ball pythons, and think they have a right to talk to the people that have been doing, you know, telling them how to do shit and saying that we're wrong and me and you are the devil. I mean, we both keep multiple species. This shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
You know, and anyway, I'm not going on that fucking tangent. We're staying on track. But yeah, shout out to every supporter, you know, like the true supporters, not the reach around club, but the ones that are there. Like Eden's fucking den, bro. Like you talk about like our number one supporter, me and Chris, and even me as an individual.
I got rides for you, dog, for sure.
Dude, fucking, there are very few people in my fucking inbox that will set a fucking fire underneath me. Like if I need a fire set, Geo is fucking immediate. I don't even have to say anything at this point. It's just there's such a connection there. It's let me light this fucking fire. Let me ask a question about a boa, and it's fucking 15-minute rant.
Yeah, those are good friends to have right there. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what my boy Socrates is for. Sometimes if I'm in a funk or I feel sorry for myself, man, I'll hit him up and I'll be like, bro, I don't feel like doing this, that, whatever. And he'll talk for like a good 30 minutes. If I'm lucky, if I get him on the phone that long, he's a busy guy, but man, he'll say shit that just computes. And my dad was like that. Like, you know, but the thing is now my dad I love him to death, but like, you know, a lot of my frustration comes from what's happening with my animals. Like, you know, if it's a bad clutch or whatever, or something didn't go my way and I'm just, you know, I mean, because that's what really knocks me down my horse is when something doesn't go my way in here. And I need to work on that because it's not always going to go my way. But that's the beauty of why I love what I love to do, especially I mean, we're talking my 4th year breeding chondros and I still don't have a holdback to show off. Like They all die on me. So I it's like, you know, but these are mountains I'm desperate to climb, and I'm gonna fucking climb them. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But that's what drives. It's a purpose, man. Like, I mean, have you ever thought about what your purpose is, Levi? Like, do you have a purpose?
Ooh, that's a good. God damn it! I knew you were gonna ask one.
You know, but here's the thing: 29 years old, man. I didn't have my purpose was fucking doing blow and not sleeping. And I was all over the place. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. If you're not thinking about it right now, that's not a bad thing. But you can. No, you need. I got
you 100%. Man, I don't know how to put this into words. You're right, because I had an experience and I got back. It was nice getting back to me for a minute away from the animals, but I apply this to the animals by doing the fucking podcast. I'm not an egotistical person. I in no way, shape, or form do I like to brag or talk about anything. It's just who I am. But I strongly believe I saved somebody's life the other day without doing CPR or anything like that. I have a coworker that I was talking to, and she was down and out, man. It's been a long time since I've had a conversation like this, but like I had to dig whatever this, you talk about a purpose, right? Dig my purpose out.
Right.
And it's to inspire people to live. I've done it multiple times, but getting down and being like a motivational speaker in that time to keep somebody alive, to keep them going, because there are people that hit that low and they just don't come out of it. It's human nature.
Yeah.
And to help somebody come out of that low, it's hard, man. You got to pull something out of you. You basically got to give away a part of your spirit in that moment. You got to give them the energy and the will and find something in them to dig their purpose out. So, yeah, to dig other people's purposes out, and I do it with the animals. I had to do it with myself. I did it with myself. I had to go spend a couple of nights on a mountain alone in the dead fucking silence and remember who I am. But my purpose is, I guess, to set a fire underneath people, to inspire them. Whether it's to stay alive or to keep breathing or to push to the next step, the next level, like that's really what I do. And that's really what yesterday's podcast got everything starting to come together. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
right.
I don't know. You've been there, right? Like if you're looking in your mind to put it into a visual perspective, you have a puzzle in front of you and there's just times in life where the pieces start to fill themselves.
Naturally.
That's where I'm at.
But here's the thing, that starts to happen when you're naturally taking care of business, right? And taking care of business can be taking care of yourself, you know? And I feel like a lot of people are so concerned about making money to where, because that was my thing, man. It was all about money, right? And, you know, I made money at a young age, like 19 years old, working at Verizon corporate. I was pulling over 80 G's. And back in 2004, I mean, 80 G's for a 19-year-old, that's good cake right there, you know? But I didn't know, dude, that led to my drug addiction. It led to me just being a fucking animal, party animal, right? And yeah, mind you, I kept making more money, but then I also like, you know, that wouldn't matter. It's actually like the more money I would have made at that time, who knows where my life would have went, right? But money is just like, man, it's really the root of all evil, or it could be the best thing that ever happened to your life. But it depends on what chapter you are in your life. I mean, I'm really blessed that I touched money to where I never really like I always figured out how to have money no matter fucking what, right? And I always felt like that never really bothered me because I always figured it out. But there's just a lot of people without that kind of ambition. There's a lot of people who just, they crumble, you know what I mean? And I'm very blessed that I've been in these positions that haven't just been the most healthiest, but I've gotten out of them, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, I got into this game piss poor, bro. I had no money. And you want to talk about something, right? So worked in the cell phone industry for 10 plus years, was cocaine dealer for about 5 years, right? Where like most of my money was just selling drugs. And then I met my wife, and then I just had something happen. I really forgot the details, but it was just probably over partying, but something happened where I had like a mental breakdown and I said, fuck everything. I canceled I had a tour in Mexico that I was going to do. And I canceled everything. I said, and I just stopped hanging out with friends. And that's when I started binge watching watching bar check videos. I remember I wanted a snake really bad. I was like, I just want a snake because I had a snake. I remember it was crazy. I remember like just having all these emotional thoughts. And I'm like, damn, I remember when I was 6 years old and my dad got me my first ball python. And I was like, I need to feel like a kid again. And that's all I wanted was that kid feeling. And so sure enough, I got Mercedes, who's still alive to this day over here. And I got my first ball python when I was 2015. And so how many years ago was that? God damn, 3.
I don't know, man. You're asking me to do math.
Years ago. So I was 29. I was your age, bro. What a trip. I was your age. So your age, right? And I was like, this life, okay, mind you, before I had this breakdown, I was only DJing, selling drugs. I had left a job at Verizon. I didn't even have a real job. I was fucking really just a mess, bro. But I had that breakdown. I was 260 pounds, very overweight. I felt like, I was for sure overweight. And I went to my childhood friend, Alex Pena. I said the story before. It's been a long time. Sorry if anyone has to rehear this, but my childhood Alex Pena was in the best shape of his life. He worked at 24 Hour Fitness. And I just went to him. I'm like, bro, like, help me. And he's like, dude, holy shit. He's like, do you want a job? I'm like, he's like, doing what? He's like, sell memberships. I'm like, he's like, you could make a lot of money if you sell training. And he's like, it's just really hard, but like, I know you're good at it. And I'm like, all right. And so sure enough, I said, fuck it. I started this job as a salesperson at 24 Hour Fitness, making minimum wage plus commission, right? So bare minimum job. It's like I started, and a lot of people at this position were like kids, bro, and here I am 29 years old, but I fucking figured it out and got really good at selling personal training. I became a beast, bro. And so now I'm making good money at this, not making good money, but, because like I said, I used to make a lot of money, but now I'm making legit fucking citizen. I was actually, a contributing citizen to society, right?
Yeah.
But I was still partying too. Like, so I was kind of like trying to live this double life. And then I met Lily, right? And when I met Lily, my wife, love her to death. Love you, babe. But when I met Lily, I was trying to like, oh, she's young. Let me get her to party. Like, that was my thing. I try to get every girl to party with me, right? And so try to get her to party. And she did a little bit, but then she was like, bro, this ain't for me. Like, I'm good. And I was like, come on. And so I was like, well, fuck it. I still want to party if you don't want to party. And she's like, well, you ain't going to have me then. She's like, if you want to go party, then I'm out. And so there was one point where she fucking crossed the line down on the ground. Like, it's either this or that. And I was like, fuck partying. And so I said, fuck it. And so I said, fuck the drug game, fuck everything. And that's when I was dead broke. That's because I had no way to, like, I promised her I'm done. I'm not going to make calls. I'm not like, I'm going to just do the 24 Hour Fitness job. And that money I was making was nowhere near enough. But dude, I was broke. And dude, I came into this game poor. Like, I came into this game with she had to front my rent for like the first, like, I don't know how many months she fronted my rent. I always paid her back, but she would always have to front me. Like, what girl's going to do that for a guy really in this day and age? That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm very blessed, bro. But things like, we're talking about these pieces that just fall into place. When you get your shit together or attempt to, when you want to become a better person, those pieces, bro, it's like fucking Tetris. They just find a way to fit. But you have to make the move. Like you have to change. And change is not easy, bro. Like, some people are just stubborn. They don't think they need to change. They think they got everything figured out, but they're miserable. So do you got it figured out if you're miserable? No. You really, honestly, you don't, man. And that's, like I was telling you backstage, that's why I switched over to the path that I'm on. Like this, let's go back a little bit here. You were talking about being at home, right? Being a homebody. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, man. Let me follow suit with you. Like, I fucking love it. I don't enjoy going out. I've never been, like, I envied you for a while. Like, just you in general, right? Like, going years back to the people that would go out and party and be social and shit. Like, I used to envy them because I never liked it, but like, I wanted to be a part of the scene. Thank God I didn't get involved because I do have an addictive personality. Come to find out, who would have known? Is that why you're sucking on that vape pen? Jesus Christ!
Fuck yeah, bro. Shit. Okay, so my addictive personality, my two most toxic traits, or whatever the fuck people want to say now: caffeine and fucking nicotine, bro.
Get that vape shit out of there. I want to slap that thing out of your hand so bad. I'm just waiting for you to go. That's all I'm waiting for you to do right now. But I'm scared. Okay, here, I'm scared for myself too, because I smoke dabs. I'm a heavy dab smoker, and I'm religiously a dab smoker. I feel like that's what changes the game, but it's very new. Like, it's only been around for like 10-ish years, I want to say, right? Yeah. So I'm very concerned that this is so good to be true that there's going to be some study that's like, all right, you're going to be dead because of this concentrate is so extreme. So that kind of weighs on my head, but I'm also scared that vape shit, because that vape shit's new too, bro. So
for sure.
I listen. Green is your friend. Marijuana is your friend. I don't know if that liquid nicotine is your friend, buddy. I don't. And listen, God bless. I will never tell you who to be friends with, but just chill.
Nah, man, I get it. Trust me, there's a lot of shit out there. And I mean, it's at like the bottom of the totem pole of shit I'm worried about killing me right now.
It's not
Trust me, if I'm going to die, it's probably going to be something fucking stupid with the mainland.
wow.
Dude,
don't kid, bro. Please. We don't need that right now.
No, we don't. Where the hell was I going with that? But yeah, addicted personality. The reason I took this job that I'm up again, that I'm moving into, it's 3 weeks at home, 1 week in the office, bro. Like I get a week of escape from the house. Like I get to breathe fresh air. It's off a fucking city-built lake. I mean, it's near water. Can't ask for much more in Arizona. So I get a week away, and then I get to be 3 weeks at home with my animals. Like I clock in, I do my job, I clock out, and I'm right into the reptile room. Like I come home for lunch right now at the job that I'm at because I'm paranoid as fuck. Like you talk about staying up at night, bro. Like the 4 hours I'm away from them, like I'm thinking like temps, humidity. Like it's always a thought in the back of my head when I'm at work. Like, yeah, I focus on my job, I get my shit done. Then I'm thinking, fuck, what about the animals? What if something goes wrong? What if an alarm fails? What if a fire breaks out? What if? Like I'm fucking paranoid about it, man. Like I love these animals. Like I've come home to dead animals before. And it sucks. It hurts. Like,
yeah, it's terrible.
Man, like people that are like, when they generally like, it's just another animal. I'm like, bro, I just can't have that mental.
Yeah,
like
because you don't have a massive collection, so it does matter. Like, and not that it doesn't matter to other people, but here's the thing, I got really used to death, like because how crazy I got into the import game, and I understand, but still, when I have an animal pass on me that's been in my collection for like let's just say 4 years ago when it all started, dude, that hurts. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you got to expect it. Like, I mean, I had this, I don't want to talk about it on the live, but I had this one snake I was so looking forward to breeding this year. She was approaching ovulation and she rolled. She died. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. You know, and you know, I had plenty of talks, and bro, that shit happens. What are you going to do? Like, things fucking,
no,
like,
for sure.
Like,
but
yeah, go ahead.
You need that emotion.
You need
that
to appreciate. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Like, because as painful as I know exactly where you're at, man. I lost a male boa not too long ago. He up and rolled over. Like I knew something was off. I still don't know. 100%. I've talked to Patrick a couple of times about it. It's, you know, could have been organ failure. Wasn't IBD because he got tested. I got him tested a while back, and the timeline doesn't fit for IBD to start showing symptoms. But Patrick believes organ failure could have been a thing, which is slow onset, but it's sudden at the same time. We don't really notice a lot with these animals. It's a whole nother subject, not knowing enough about these animals. But he up and died on me, man, and he was ready to go. It hurt, man. Like, you need that emotion, though, because that's what drives us to do better, to want to learn more, to figure out what, who, what, when, where, why, right?
Yeah, I mean, because anytime something rolls, man, it just makes my attachment to these animals who are alive even closer. Because I appreciate, like, man, you're still rocking with me. Thank you so much. And you know, even with, you know, as much as I try to get down on myself about not having any chondro productions to show off, I still have all my females that lay clutches that are alive, and that right there means everything to me. Because, you know, what would be devastating is not only you didn't get that clutch that you wanted, but the female died. You know. That right there, I think the biggest thing. Yeah, I do obviously want the production, but I want my female just to get through it and be okay, because it's not her fault, you know. And so, but yeah, listen, there's so many things that could keep us up at night, and that's why I stay so tapped into my room, bro. Because, you know, I one thing I do know, and I'm very happy the way the universe works, is I've had things wake me up out of my sleep. And either, like, for whatever reason, something's like, hey, go downstairs. And I go or go to the room, and I go, and either something's out or something happened. I can't tell you how many times I've been woken up like that. You want to know one story? I mean, I'll talk about it now since we moved. But dude, check this out. Okay, so how long have you been following me for?
Fuck, 3 or 4 years?
Before I had all this stuff? Like before I upgraded to everything? Okay. So I originally had everything in back of the old place. I had everything in the trap. Everything started in the trap, right? And then I convinced my wife Lily to let me put all the arboreal snakes, the scrubs, mangroves inside the room, like because I had my own. Here's the thing: I when we lived together, I still had my own room. We slept together, but I had like my own room with my clothes. Like I'm kind of like I need my space like that, right? So I was like, listen, I have this room, and I convinced her. She's like, God damn it, I told you no snakes in the house, but okay. So I go ahead and get it all set up, and dude, this is when things were just getting out, and I was slipping up. And so one time I was in bed, and normally I sleep like a rock. Like when I'm out, bro. But all I felt was something kind of cool in my hand. And so I go like this. I remember waking up and I go like, and my bed was kind of low to the ground back then. And so I go like this, and it's a scrub, and I have a scrub in my hand. And I'm like, oh, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so literally like nothing, I wake up and just put it away. And I go, oh my God, that was crazy. And I just go back to sleep.
Oh man, bro.
So intuition lives, man. I'm telling you, man, like you like when you're very tapped into your room like that, man, you just know when something's up. So and I know people out there know what I'm talking about.
No, I got you on that, bro. I got you on two. So, and both of them are extremely recent. So, real quick, let me open this up because I know people love to talk shit, right? There are 2 lies every snake keeper tells, and they will die by these. I swear to God. I'm done buying more snakes. I've never had a snake escape. Fucking bullshit. Everybody has had a snake.
You're saying people say, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
If they have 2 or 3, they're disqualified from this conversation.
Well, I mean,
even then.
But there are people out there who could say maybe they've never had a snake escape, but maybe they've only been in the game for a few years, right? I got to tell you, at some point, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. It's like saying I've never been bit. You're going to get bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, recently, the first one, what the hell was I doing? I was playing Fortnite, bro. So, we'll get back to that. So key that I'm foreshadowing something here. I'll give you some fun knowledge.
Noted.
So I was playing Fortnite, and no, I wasn't playing with anybody else, but I was like dead set. I was kicking ass, bro. I was on a roll that night. But I got this gut fucking feeling in me. I was like, go in the reptile room. Go out to the garage. Something's wrong. I couldn't begin to tell you what, but something's wrong, and my hair stood up. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Drop the game. Whatever happens, happens. I don't give a fuck about this match. Nothing is more important than these animals. And I'm doing a walk. I'm smelling. Nothing smells burnt. Nothing smells dead. Nothing smells off. I'm opening up tubs. I'm opening up enclosures. I'm like, everybody's straight. What the fuck is wrong with me? Something's wrong. And I go to walk out of the room, and it dawns on me. I didn't open up the fucking retake enclosure, the mainland. And my heart drops. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go back, I open it up, looking around the enclosure. Literally, what the fuck? Lights are on. Lift up the hide. Look up on the ceiling. Nothing. Wait a minute. Where the fuck is my mainland? I'm thinking, I go into full panic mode. When was the last time the garage was open? Thinking like, fuck, I'm the next goddamn news article. What about my mainland? She's not going to survive, dude. Like, I go into full panic mode anytime anything escapes.
It's not a good feeling, yeah.
No, it's not. Sheer panic. And I run inside. I grab the flashlight, and I shut off all the lights. I'm like, all right, they move around a lot in the night. I sit in the middle of the garage for a minute. I start looking around. I'm like, and when a snake escapes, do you do this, man? Do you get into the mental of a snake? Do you start going? Maybe it's a herping thing. But I get into the mental of the animal. I'm like, all right, if I was a snake, where would I go? I keep my rats in the garage. So I was like, you know what? Let me go over there. Dude, right. First swipe of the light, I catch the glare of her scale. I'm like, bam, fuck it. Lights are on. Grabbed her right away. And I was like, I don't know. It just felt like the stars aligned for me, right? Like this isn't 3 days, 4 days an adventure of me fucking booby trapping the garage. Laying down. Do you lay down powder, like flour?
I mean, I did. I remember my first snake I lost. I looked up every trick in the book, bro, because I was desperate to find this snake, and none of that shit worked. I mean, it's very simple, man. Your room needs to be sealed, okay? If your room is sealed, that snake's not going anywhere, but they're good hiders. So I don't panic. Damn, my shit's glitching. But I'm gonna keep talking. You can hear me. But anyways, I don't panic, bro.
We're solo.
You,
No, I'm not.
wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh wait.
Yeah, you're good. You're straight. Oh,
Right, you can hear me, right? You can hear me. Though,
yeah.
right? Okay.
You're good.
So,
You're
anyways, I don't panic because I've gone through this so many times. And yeah, you want to do your initial investing, like you want investigating, like you want to, especially if it's a big snake, you should just simply just look around and see if you could see it, right? But then the next go-to is any dark crevice spot, like any spot that's going to be like very dark and very small to be in. But like, let's just say you don't even find them, then don't panic. They'll come out. I feel like they'll come out. And that's kind of my mentality with it, especially because, like I said, I'm in my room so much where I'm going to find it. But now, mind you, if you got cracks in the walls, or if you got shit where things could get out, well then, dude, then you could stress out. You know what I mean? And I got to tell you, in the beginning, in the trap, back in the beginning days in the trap, there were many exits. There were many ways for these snakes to find, because I had a separate, like in the trap, there was another room, which was the washer and dryer room, right? And the water pipes that went outside, there was like gaps. You know what I mean? Like you could easily put your hand through there. And so when things were getting out, I wasn't finding them. I was like, oh my God, they're fucking getting out this way. And so shout out to my homie Victor. But my homie Victor, one day we spent the whole day sealing, we taped up every crevice, everything we could fucking think of. And the MIAs, like, I mean, I think I've only had 2 actual ones that never came back home. And one of those was a mangrove, bro. One of those was like a 8-foot mangrove cat snake, venomous.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I found her. She was dead. She was a fucking piece of bacon, unfortunately. Yeah, it was very that because she was one of the melanistic ones. Like, she was very low yellow, like barely had any yellow. I was obsessed with this snake, bro. Like, this snake hurt. This snake right here, man, I was like I was devastated because I really loved this. And when this snake died, I got out of the mangrove. I said, fuck it, I don't want the Boegas no more. That was my push out of the Boega game. Because I loved her the most. And so, but yeah, man, I mean, here's the thing. My biggest problem, guys, that I will preach, and hopefully anyone out there listens to this, don't let the mistake happen and then you fix it. You need to fix it now, okay? Because I had so many things that happened to me, like devastating wise, where I could have, and mind you, there's some things you don't think about. There's things that just like, oh my God, I would have never thought of that. Like, did you ever hear my story about, what are they? The not ground boas. Oh my God, oh my God, my brain is. So the island ground boa. The island.
Yes.
Ground boa, right? What are the arboreal ones? How come I can't fucking think of them right now? Dude, someone help me, please.
Not Solomon Ground Island.
Not the other one. They're the Solomon tree boas. I guess Solomon tree boas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So Solomon. Okay. Yeah. Hello. That wasn't even fucking. We're almost there. So instead of ground, these are the tree ones, right? So
yeah.
I got gifted these tree ones, and mind you, I never, like, my only experience with arboreal snakes was the green tree pythons, and I was very green with that. So my boy Miguel bought. Have you heard this story? Because I don't want to tell you if you've heard this story.
No, I haven't.
So Miguel Garcia, one of my biggest mentors in this game, he sent me. He's like, "Hey MJ, I'm sending something for your birthday." I'm like, "Oh shit, what is it?" And so he's like, "I'm gonna surprise you." So he sends it to me, and it's a pair of these fucking Solomon Island tree boas. He's like, I know you like boas and tree snakes, so this is like, I think this would be cool. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I started looking it up, and I saw that they liked lower temperatures, and I was like, oh man. So I made like a tub, like a big Sterilite tub, and I put trees and all this cool shit in it, but I gave them a mesh. Like, I cut the lid, and I strapped meshing because I wanted good airflow. Like, I thought they needed a lot of airflow. I didn't want it to be too hot in there, right? And you know what screen meshing I'm talking about, right? People do it for like rodent racks and shit like that, like the screen meshing.
The 1/4 inch.
Yeah, like the metal meshing, right? Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
right. So, mind you, and this is after a good year. I've had these for a while, and they're breeding. Everything's. I figured them out, but I still have them in this goddamn enclosure, right? So, mind you, one morning or one night, I'm closing everything up, and I see a head poke out. I see it's the head of the male, the tree boa, and he's putting his head out, and he could put his head through the mesh hole, and I'm like, oh shit, can he get out? And mind you, these tree boas have real skinny heads. They have small heads, right? But his body was too big to go through that hole, but his head could go through it. So I'm like, he can't get out. I was like, his head could be poked through, but he can't get out. So I was like, but I also said to myself, I don't like this. I don't like that he has his head out. I was like, so tomorrow I'm gonna do something. I'm either gonna put something over the screen or I'll figure it out, right? So I was like, I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. I wake up that next morning, and this is back when I would I had my job, my 9 to 5, so I was waking up super early. And I remember walking to the room, and I look over, and I see something white. I see something white poking out of the screen. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I go and I touch it, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look, and it's the other half of the snake's body. Okay.
Oh shit.
So this basically there was no head. No, the head was gone, and it was like part of the lower neck, like part like past the neck, like about the first part of the body chewed up, and it was just bone. And I was like Stephen King, fucking like Freddy Krueger shit, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was so confused, right? Mind you, I was breeding rats in that washroom. Okay.
Oh shit.
And I had this rat that was loose for months. And there was something happened where and this rat, bro, I couldn't get it. Like I just couldn't fucking get it. Maybe because I was still new, but I just couldn't get the fucker. And you know, time went by and I thought, oh, he died finally. Fuck him, you know, and I thought everything was fine. No, that motherfucker was well alive. And he caught that snake as his head was out poking out. And that fucking rat ate that whole entire head. And he tried pulling the body out. So like you could see the body was like trying to be forced out the screen. Like it was like, oh my God.
What the fuck, bro?
And if you want to talk about some mental shit, bro, like I broke down because mind you, like this is like, I'm thinking this is the most special snake I've ever gotten. My idol at that time, he still is my boy and my idol, but my guy I look up to the most in this game sent me this as a gift. And then this happens. And mind you, I'm still broke too. Like I don't, you know, I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to afford to buy something like this ever again. So I lose my mind, bro. And I call my dad, and my dad's like, part of the reason why I'm this messed up is because of my dad. I'm not gonna lie. Me and my dad are like this. We're identical. And I call my dad basically crying. I was upset. I was like, Dad, I need your help. We need to find this rat. I need to get this fucking rat. And I can't describe what I did to that rat because I don't want more pushback. But mind you, I found that rat. Oh boy, did I find that rat.
Oh, for sure. I fucking same.
I was
bro.
happy
Same.
with. I don't. Well, you know, like as much as it felt good, I didn't. Like at the end of the day, it was my fault. But still, that rat just picked the wrong snake to eat, and then I took it all out. But also, like, dude, I put myself through that. Dude, that was pretty traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie, that was a traumatizing type event, and I know a lot of people go through traumatizing type shit in this industry where it makes them never want to do this again. That was close. But that's when I just realized I need to get these fucking rats out. And I did, got them out. Ever since I stopped having rats in that room, which guys, I say this all the time, don't ever have rats in your room. Ever. Like keep them, I guess if you need to store them for extra food, but don't ever breed rats in the same vicinity as your snakes, because one loose rat will fucking, or mouse or whatever, anything loose in your room is that right there I won't go to sleep. That right there, like if I'm feeding in this room and something gets out and gets under the rack, and that, you know what sucks? I don't have my false water cobra. My false water cobra was my go-to. I used to put that thing on the ground, bro, and it would find it, chase it, and fucking kill it for me. But yeah, a loose rodent in the room, that's the number one thing you don't want, for sure. So anyways, that's that horror story for tonight's episode.
So I'll tell you a quick, like, I guess it's fucked up, but it's kind of comedic. So my answer to escaped rats, I do keep them in my snake room, by the way. I may end up changing that after that. I had a tub fall down. I had two of them get out. I got one of them right away because the stupid asses like to sit on top of the mesh. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like they'll go back to eat.
Yeah.
So I got one of them right away. The other one takes off and runs. And I mean, it was probably like a weak battle. So over there in that same garage door, right, what I like to do is shut off all the lights and I'll go get my BB gun. And I'll keep that door cracked. I'll shut off all the other lights because I'll move around in the dark. They think they're safe.
Right.
And I used to wait for any escapee to come up and eat the food. I would leave the food out. I would just fucking shoot him, kill him, and get rid of him. one day, it was probably, I think it was 8 days, man. 8 days I was battling with this rat, like straight hunter status, bro. Every night, laid there for like 30, 35 minutes waiting for this motherfucker to come out and eat. Just duck and dodge me every time. I finally had my moment, bro. Sight on, sneezed, pulled the trigger, and I missed. But I still got it in the lake. My wife came out here, I don't know, a few hours after to check on something, and the motherfucker, stupid thing's running around in a bucket. Got into a bucket trying to eat food, but its legs fucked up, so I couldn't get out.
Right.
My wife still has that rat as a fucking pet today. She like rehabilitated it, cured it. Like, dude, I look at that rat, I'm like, I fucking hate you. You motherfucker. Yeah, you managed to outrun me for 8 days. And I sneezed and missed. It was like fate is decided that you're gonna get to live. And I told her, I was like, even fucking just keep the goddamn thing. I hope it dies of natural causes and fuck that rat. So I get to look at that motherfucker all the time. Like,
that's funny.
Then my daughter's like absolutely in love with it. So she loves the snakes and the rodents. She is aware of the snakes. How many
kids you got, Levi?
2.
2 kids, boy and girl, or 2 girls? What do you got?
A boy and a girl.
And what are their ages?
My son is 9 and my daughter is 5.
Nice. And they love the animals, or what's their take on the reptiles?
So my son is the reason I got back into it.
Right. Okay.
And my daughter, do you like it? You see my daughter holding a good portion of my 7-foot bow. She fucking loves them, man.
Right.
They're out here with me all the time, fucking helping me with the animals, always interacting with them. It's a good time.
And your wife, where's she at with this? I mean, especially when it comes to like you kind of getting stressed or like whatever. Like, I mean, do you share stuff with her? Like, you tap her in with some of the stuff that you go through with not only obviously podcast shit, but even with your own animals and stuff like that. Like, you keep her tapped in with stuff. Oh,
for sure. She's the only reason I haven't like fucking run my fist through a wall or fucking slam my head against something, man.
Man, gotta love. Shout out all the wives and husbands, man. I gotta tell you, man, all the other halves. Thank you.
For the ones that are in it, bro. Like I was telling a buddy of mine, Chad's wife, I was like, hats off to you.
Chad,
hats off to you.
Which Chad?
Chad Tice.
I don't think I know that one. Anyways,
you should know it. If you're into boas, like he's a big up and coming guy.
What's his like Instagram name or whatever?
Tice Reptiles.
Tice Reptiles?
Yeah, go hit him with a follow, man. He's working on some really, really cool projects. Down to earth guy. I love Chad.
Levi,
introduced me to Thomas at Boa Addicts.
Can't tell people who to follow, bro. It's not right.
Huh?
Can't tell people who to follow. What's his name though? Tice, Tyse what?
TICE Reptiles.
Okay, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. Tice, got it. Okay, Tice.
So I was talking to his wife at a little event. This is where I met Thomas. And I was just like, shout out to you. You know, like hats off for all the shit that you go through, because she doesn't own or keep. She like holds them every once in a while. But like we go through some emotional shit working with these animals, man. I don't, I really do want to do an appreciation live of the wives of the hobby, because they deal with us, man. Like we get fucking worked up. Like my wife has been there when I've lost animals. My wife has been there when an animal has gotten out and I'm stressing the fuck out. She's been there when pairings don't work. She's been there when animals up and kick the fuck. Everything, bro. Every fucking brats aren't producing. I'm fucking, I started broke too, bro. Like you're fucking, when you're down and out, having your significant other right there to pick you the fuck back up. Like there's second to none. And shout out to them for going through this shit. They didn't sign up for this, but they do it anyways.
I think the only reason why I'm at where I'm at is because my wife carries her own weight to the fullest. Like, she's gangster, man. She has a good job. She's educated, and like I'm not used to any of that when it comes to women. I would always have to take care of the women. That was always usually my thing. And I got very blessed with her, but it also made me want to step up, because it's like I don't feel right about this, But so, I mean, Lily knows my biggest game plan is to retire her ass. Like I can't wait until I could go to her and say, you don't need to work no more. And I don't know when that is, but I got to tell you that I wake up every day with the purpose of that, because how much she's helped me and how much she's like, I'm at where I'm at because of her. I wouldn't be where I'm at because, I'm just, I am a hustler, but she helped me hustle. Like she helped me. She was the big push on why I do the things that I do. And there's no way this shit would have been possible without her, man. So that's why I always make sure whenever I can, I shout out those other halves, because, it could be the other way around. There's other people who, it's unfortunate, right? Like we're talking about people who get stuck with jobs that they hate. Think about people who get stuck with people they hate.
Ooh.
That's crazy. That's a heavy one, you know. I could have been that guy many times. I ended up relationships where the intentions were good, but then it was just something I was so miserable, you know. But there was times where I just put up with it, right? So I understand there's people who live a life with their other half that's just they hate it, and that's, man, I pray for all those kind of people, but I also pray for
sure.
I pray for those people who have that and they're trying to do their thing by these animals. You know, you got to choose. It sucks, you know, because some people have kids, if not everyone, you know, fuck. It's a dicey thing, but I mean, you got to understand, if you have the kind of animals or just any animal in your life, that's a blessing. Like that right there is like, there's a reason why that animal's in your life. You know, dogs are always the go-to because dogs are the most loyal. We know that dogs are the most loyal, and that's why I love dogs so much, because of like their purpose. The dog's purpose is taking care of their owner. Like that's it. They don't give a fuck about nothing else, about food too, but they love you. Like my dogs love me and my wife, like obsessed, you know, and I love that kind of, like, I love feeling like that, you know. And
dogs,
you don't get that.
Do something that we can't do to the fullest.
100%. We don't deserve dogs.
Unconditional love. Dogs love unconditionally. You don't have to feed that dog. Let's be 100%
miserable. Yes,
they will die in starvation, but they will be wagging their fucking tail and still love you till their last breath. They love unconditional.
Yeah.
100%. We do not deserve dogs. Dogs are fucking amazing, man. And that's back to that. That's a fire you do not want to set with me. I think about my dog, man. I love my dog. My dog is so fucking loyal, so protective, man. Wait till you have the kids. The kid. Hopefully kids, I guess.
But honestly, my heart burns for almost any living thing other than, you know, humans. I'm working on it. But like, man, like, you know, you look at a squirrel or just like any kind of like thing in nature, I just have a crazy just appreciation for. And, you know, I understand things kill the other and it's a circle of life. And you know, I'm just, I appreciate that too. But it's just like, I mean, we just, us humans got it so easy compared to these animals. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like they were here before us, you know, and now look, we just kind of fucked it all up. And I'm not trying to go down like this hippie rant. I'm just saying, like, I feel like not only do I owe a lot to these animals, but we all do. Like and that's why if you are close to them, don't let anything fuck that up for you. Like if you really feel like you're connected to these animals, like I am and Levi are, and millions of others, then don't let it go. I gotta tell you how many people have to sell their collection because of the other half situation, you know? So
no, absolutely, man. And that's, I don't know if you caught all the Bill Stiegel episode, but towards the end we were talking, I want to do a live, and I invite you, Stiegel, and anybody else that wants to do a live on a discussion about true conservation.
Yeah, because there's a lot of fake shit going around, that's for sure. Exactly.
And when we talk, you know, it goes hand in hand with the massacre, right? When the representatives that we have for USARK and USARK Florida, they do a well job of it. But us as keepers really haven't done that well of a job of speaking on true conservation and why we do what we do. What triggered that mental is when you talk about us, the animals were here first, right? When people kill rattlesnakes out here in Arizona, it's so fucking common. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. It's not even a pet peeve, it's true anger. Like, they were here first. We owe it to these animals because we built on their habitat. We invaded their space to give them a chance to live. The minimal kind and loving thing you could do for an animal is to remove it from your property and put it somewhere else. Let it live. Give it the blessing of life. Don't kill the animal. They're venomous, non-venomous, dangerous, or not. It doesn't matter. There's not a rhyme nor a reason just to up and kill a fucking animal because you don't like it and it's in your space. No, we are in their space. And this is not anything other. It's, not going down the hippie tangent, but facts. You know what I mean? They were here first.
I mean, look at those rattlesnake roundups, bro. I mean, you want to talk about getting triggered. Fuck, bro. That right there. I mean, I want to. That's like, man, like, I don't wish harm on people, man, but you give me a fucking desert eagle, and I don't mind. Like, I don't mind taking to one of those fuckers' heads while they're doing that to those snakes. I mean, I'm not going to really. I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel. It's so fucked up.
Facts.
But it's like, but that's a generational thing. Like my uncles, man, I got uncles back east who think that's cool and funny, and I'm like, and they're like, oh well, they're just a pet, they're a menace, and we need. I'm like, no, that's not the case. This is just pure fucked up enjoyment. You know what I mean? Like this is, you motherfuckers. This is like an ego, like we run the territory thing, and we're gonna kill these animals because we can, and it's the law. Yeah, it's fucked up. But anyways,
reverse that mental on them though. Like I don't know if you saw my story the other day before I went to the expo, but this dude showed me like 2 dead rattlesnakes because I had my mainland around my shoulders while I was cleaning out my car, getting her some sunlight. Such a good girl, bro. Yeah. And he comes up to me, he's like, "Oh, you like snakes?" I'm like, "Yeah." Wearing a Reptile crew shirt. Shout out to the sponsor. Yeah, sick. With my mainland around me, and it's like, yeah, I do. I love snakes. Like this is my passion. So I'm trying not to be a sarcastic dickhead, but I'm like, yeah, I totally love them, man. Love this girl. She's big, brings joy. And somewhere he gets this like that ego side of him was like, oh well, look at these 2 dead rattlesnakes I killed. They were in a bush that I was doing landscaping on. I was like, dude, that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
it was like I don't see why you had to do that. You could have just simply moved them, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, call Rattlesnake Solutions. Yeah, they will come out and they will remove it, and I guarantee there's somebody in the neighborhood get me whatever. But he had this like sense of pride to him. I'm like, you looked at him, I was like, dude, you killed something without arms and legs. Like, are you really that proud of yourself? You killed something that really can't do a whole lot to defend itself. Like, it's nothing to be proud of. It's not, look at the size of my balls, I'm a big, tough guy. You killed something without arms and legs, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just kind of just why I stay in my own world sometimes, man. At the end of the day,
for sure.
Can't force people to change, and also too, man, like not everyone's animal people. Like as much as we love animals, we want everyone to love animals. It's not the case for everybody. Maybe they like them in movies, they like them in books, but they don't like them to this extent. And you bringing up that conservation, man, that would be a good episode to have because there's a lot of wannabe conservationists out there. A lot of people preaching it, but where they at speaking on this matter? They're all quiet, still collecting donations. So. I don't know. It's wild. But listen, I have a wrap-up question for you before we get into some hot seat questions, okay?
Hit me.
And this is kind of meat and potatoes, man. I mean, 2 hours went by quick. Great episode, but
holy shit.
Let's talk about the goods and the bads, man. Like what has been the best thing so far starting a Reptile podcast, and what's been some of the worst? And you can start with either side first, but let's get into the journey it's been so far, good and bad, with the Reptile podcast.
Let's do it, man. You know what? Let's get the bad out of the way. The bad has been the complications, man. Like the time, the emotion that goes into it, at points dealing with the haters, the controversy, the bullshit, the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into this. I don't think that people fully understand how much when you love something and you actually dedicate to it, putting that time and effort in, and the frustrations, especially having a co-host. With me and Chris, like there have been times, like don't get me wrong, like me and Chris are brothers. Like there is a true love of brothership there that people will never understand. But with brothers comes fights, man. Like we have been at each other's throats. We've been down to the lowest of lows, and we've been up to the highest of highs. And at those lowest of lows, man, we've gone at each other, we've argued, we've fucking cussed, and all of it, man. It's a battle. It's not pretty, it's ugly, but it's a mountain to climb, right? That's really been the bad, is like the complications of it, the true complications, and to like scheduling, conflict of interest, name it, it's been there.
So it's working out the kinks is the biggest thing for you, is just having to deal with things that don't go the way they should go, whatever that is, rescheduling.
100.
But that's always going to be the case. That's the thing,
for sure. And now onto the good, man, is the brothership that me and Chris share. That brothership is unbreakable. Getting to the level that we're at now. If you had told me when we first started this, back when we were playing Fortnite, I would have never thought that I would have ended up on Trap Talk. I never thought that me and you would develop the relationship that we have. I never thought I would have Earl from Lone Star Reptiles calling my cell phone. I never thought that I would walk into an expo and want people want to talk to me. People want me to be a part of what they're working with. Like the good is like the being in deep in the hobby. The positives, the people that reach out to you that love what you're doing. Like, again, had you told me when we first started this that our inbox would be going crazy after specific episodes because we did such a good job or brought something to light that needed to be talked about, never would have thought that.
Right.
And
Yeah, man.
the relationships, man, like, fuck, dude, I'm on a goddamn podcast. I'm idle.
Come on, guys. There's way better, cooler things to idolize out there, man.
Oh, bullshit. No, this is not the time to be humble. Like, with all due respect, man, I don't think people quite understand it, but no reach arounds. Like, I looked up to you for a long time in every aspect of the hobby, the podcast, the reptile keeping, that tough on yourself mental. The water changes every day. Like, yeah, you can get away with 7, but why not do it every day? Push to be better than you were yesterday.
Right.
And it has truly inspired me to be where I am today. Like, I would not be in this chair if it wasn't for the trap. And every podcast that you've done to date, every single episode, from a viewer looking up to the top, there's something to learn in every single episode I have. Fuck, man, that Russo episode, I had a notepad out. Every tip that Dave Levison, from the first episode that you guys did together to the episode today, there's a notebook in this desk behind the computer with every tip that man has put out of his mouth. Everything that Russo said is written down in a notebook because boas is what I want to do.
And you talk about best, some of the best in the game right there. What better information do you need? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
thank
you for the kind words, Levi. I appreciate that. As much as I never had intentions to inspire anyone, the fact that I'm doing it means, I'm not gonna lie. That's once I knew that I had other people I was helping out other than myself, even though, like I said, I wasn't trying to, and it just was happening. It made me feel good because I do want to help people, but I'm also very selfish. I am a selfish person, and I'm working on that. But I just felt like, at the end of the day, I want to help who I can, who wants to be a part of what I love. And I love this. If we could make this bigger, then why not? And so hearing stuff like what you just said, always, I take to heart. I instill it in my head and I live off of it. So thank you so much for the kind words. And yeah, man, like I said, 2 hours went by fast. This was a great episode. And yeah, Monday's in the books. You'll never have to be on a Monday New Breed on the Block series ever again. Next one will be on a Thursday, buddy. So
let's do it.
Good shit. Well, we got hot seat questions though, so we'll get these hot seat questions in for you, and then we'll let you enjoy your night. Okay, Levi? What do you think?
Sounds great to me. You want paragraph long answers, right?
No, brotherfucker. I smell dinner. I'm ready to eat, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I got chores in here. So, but no, here we go. Hot seat questions. I don't even need to say nothing about the likes because the likes are up, my man. Everyone's smashing that like button for you tonight. So, just want to say, make sure you give props to whoever was tapping in. Well, obviously, I asked you that, but all right, here we go. Hot seat questions, Levi.
Let's do it. Come on.
Coming in hot. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Favorite super dwarf locality?
Fuck you.
Got him. Got him.
God damn it. Karampa.
Favorite boa species?
You motherfucker. Suriname.
Are you gonna have a spasm attack? I hope you're okay with these questions. I don't want. Your face was shutting down there for a second. You're good. Okay. All right.
You got me. You literally put me in the hot seat. That I did not see this coming.
A cut or no cut?
A cut.
On what day for a ball python?
Day 55.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
After the Stiegel episode, yellow all day.
Wow. What? Wait, what? Bill?
Wait, no, sorry. No, you're right. Red.
I was gonna say, whoa, are you mad at Bill?
Yeah.
Because that's
no, you're right. Going backward. No, red.
Right. All right. Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post shed.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay imports.
Number one reptile you'd like to import to your collection anywhere around the world, what would it be? Take your time. Fuck.
Damn it, man. You did. Oh, you would. You know what? Wild-caught Cernanon boa.
What about one reptile nobody should import? Leave it alone.
Sulcata tortoises.
To mist or spray a ball python, or to never mist and spray a ball python.
To spray.
Favorite boa breeder?
Damn, Dave Levison.
You tried studying these questions, huh? You thought I was gonna fucking give you shit that you knew. That's why you're hurting right now. I get it.
Oh, for sure, for
it.
sure, 100%. I got to give it to Dave Levison.
Favorite ball python breeder?
Ooh, Zach Sumter, Pot His Life.
Nice. That's my dog right there, man. Shout out to Zach. The pied his life. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
Boo alcohol.
Wow. Yay 420 or no, I rather vape?
I am actually allergic
To what? Vape?
to THC.
No, you're not.
I am 100% confirmed.
What do you have? Rashes? What happens to you? I'm curious.
Man, I almost have like an anaphylactic reaction to it.
What? A who?
An anaphylactic reaction. Like it's a true allergic reaction. Like my throat starts to swell up. I can't breathe well.
Shit. Damn,
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, it's a thing. And I don't, it's been many years and supposedly it changes every 7 years, but I haven't been willing to experiment with it. I'm allergic to lavender too. It does the same shit.
Like the gene lavender or like the actual lavender? What do you mean?
Like actual lavender, like the
I
flower.
think I meant ball python because I'm allergic to lavender in the ball python game. So that's
Whoa, what? Team Lavender all day, bro.
I'm just kidding. Lavender, it's relevant. It's relevant. Okay, moving forward. Here we go. Big flexor or no flexor?
No flexor.
Okay, big smoker there. That was a flex with your fucking goddamn vape.
How is that? I can't do the fucking cool tricks that people can do, like making a damn octopus.
I'm gonna pause this right now, okay? You vapors are trying to flex. I'm telling you, the reason why you love sucking on that thing because you love seeing that huge cloud. That's why you think you're fucking.
There is a satisfaction in it.
You think you're at a fucking goddamn smoke tour and shit, and you're like, you're not. You're smoking nicotine. That's all I'm saying, okay? God bless. But you need smoke, so you need something, I guess. Fuck. All right, how about this? Nirvana or Green Day?
Nirvana.
Respect. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
Fuck. West Coast.
Favorite reptile to herp in Arizona?
Wow, you fucking would.
That just dawned on me too. I was just curious because Arizona is fucking pretty prime places to herp. So, what's that one? What's that one reptile you love to find in Arizona?
Oh! You're gonna specify it. Okay. Oh, fuck, you would. Something. Oh man,
He gonna cry in the car.
There. You know what? You're getting a double answer here. Twin spotted, and no, you know what? I'll give you one. The twin spotted rattlesnake.
Little word association. First thing to come to mind. FedEx shipping.
Panic attack.
Number one reptile shipping company in the game.
Bro, come on. The sponsor. Ship your reptiles. Let's go.
Let's go. Coco.
Substrate.
Stuck shed.
Humidity.
Favorite boa project.
Finn Russo.
Favorite ball python morph.
I'll go with the classic pied.
If it came down to you eliminating one social media platform forever, and I mean forever, never coming back, TikTok or Facebook, which one has to go?
TikTok.
Okay, that's kind of a close one, huh? Even though I would have to pick Facebook to keep because but TikTok, like, god damn that, I
would love to see them both burned to the ground, but both are just toxic as hell.
Listen, we just had shy of 70 people tapped in tonight, all here to show you love and support. over 60 likes in the building. What do you have to say? Everyone out there fucking with you, man. All your homies, everyone out there rocking with you.
Man, thank you guys so much. Like, not in a million years would I ever thought I'd be sitting here. Obviously, real quick, on the end of the note, man, shout out to Chris, Flexing and Finesse and Reptiles. Like, that, I would not physically be here if it wasn't for Chris setting the fire. Like, really, the podcast itself and every ounce of growth was started between me and Chris playing a Fortnite match. So shout out to my brother, shout out to Eden's Den, Mi Familia, and every person that continues to support this podcast, the Trap, and Sexing and Flexing.
All day, man. You know, the Trap backs up your podcast and your platform all day. So listen, man, just keep doing your thing. And like I said, you got backup all day, every day, my man. But that's a wrap from my homie Levi. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bro. Hey, have a good night. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you again.
See you later, man. What a guy. What a good guy. Thank you guys who tapped in and gave him the time of day and literally because he deserves it. I feel like he has a great future in this industry and he's doing the right thing, keeping the right people around him. And I feel like what's important to his game plan is what should be important to everyone's game plan, and that's keeping the animals first. He's very dialed in, or how he says it, hyper focus. I like that. I think that's like today's word of the day, hyper focus. But anyways, guys, check it out. No Thursday night trap talk. Okay, I'm gonna be in Jamaica. Take off to Jamaica Wednesday with my wife. Cannot wait. It's gonna be a good time. But I do have one more podcast this week to serve you guys up with. So who's ready for tomorrow's Fat Snake Tuesday? We're back. Let's do it. Have you guys heard of Andrew Stemme, a.k.a. Mr. Megaconda? Sitting down with me and Eric Lee tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for our lovely Fat Snake Tuesday segment. Talking about these mainland retics. I mean, dude, this guy has some crazy looking productions. You want to talk about orange that smacks. I mean, this guy's on Shane fucking Costello's level, and he's Shane's homie from Illinois. So it's going to be a great episode. I want you guys to be sure to set your reminders because it's going down tomorrow. Like I said, Fat Snake Tuesday. Shout out to my boy, Andrew. Shout out to Megan, too. I want to say shout out to his soon-to-be wife. Got the invite to the wedding. Looking forward to it. But, yeah, awesome night. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night, guys. I got things to do. Yeah, man. Love it. The grind never stops. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop. And then make sure you listen. Guys, if you want to get more out of what you see here, if you want to support me and what I do with this podcast, if you want to tap in with over 160 trappers, then go down to the very first link you see in the description below and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. And then you tap into Discord. Join the Patreon family. Tap into Discord. You meet everybody. It pops off 24/7. Shit never stops. Follow me on Instagram, Trap Talk God 619. Also reach out to me too, man. Hit me up. You got any concerns or want to give me some feedback, or you want to give me maybe somebody you think I should bring on the show? Hit me up. I'm very active on Instagram. So Trap Talk God 619. Podcast's Instagram page, the Trap Talk Reptile Podcast, and also on Facebook. Guys, listen. I love any ounce of support I get from any one of you guys. Thank you so much. Even if you're not in the reptile game and you watch me, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your guys' support is what motivates me. And motivation's not as easy to get for a lot of people nowadays. But I feel like I got a lot of it because of you guys. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe on any audio platforms you happen to listen to Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. Also be ready for trap clips that come out every Tuesday. Go subscribe to the Trap Talk Clip YouTube channel and subscribe to the Trap Vlogs YouTube channel. Signing off. This is episode 333 in the books, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers.